right, ladies and gentlemen. Unexpected situation. The electricity just went off. So I got to find out what happened. It was just on, but let's use some of this lighting here. So maybe it's like it's like Halloween. Ooh. Well, anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see if there's just something that happened because all the lights went out. So, you know what I'm going to do right now? Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room. So, once again, we have what? I don't know what happened because I do have Wi-Fi on and it shouldn't be on. So that means maybe in this room the lights went out. So there's something that happened. I heard a pop also out at the street. This is going to be very interesting. But obviously, welcome once again to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And again, I'll be right back in touch with you as I play a video. So you know what I'm going to have to do. Smash that like button, ladies and gentlemen. And also share the video if we can do the video. It's a blackout. And I don't see across the street. I see lights. I see lights across everywhere. This is wild. Let me go find out what's going on around here. But I'm going to play a video. It's going to be Money Never Sleeps because it's 4 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Squatters' rights, real estate investing, and investing tips. That's right. How do you save money? Well, you save money on real estate when you're investing. And welcome. Stop struggling now. Gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Okay. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the block's out and we have Wi-Fi still on. So I don't know. Oh, I do know what to do. So that's right. Hold on a second. I'm about to do something that's pretty wild. Pretty wild. Let's see here. Even though Money Never Sleeps, I guess I didn't go to Money Never Sleeps because that should have been 4 minutes. So anyhow, what do we do here? Maybe that's a little bit better. Somewhat better. But I'm sure somebody watching this is going, what's going on? Electricity is out, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like I'm doing creeper status. But then again, I don't know how the Wi-Fi's on. So I will get back to Money Never Sleeps. Victor Marrero is still here, even though I'm doing the creepy Halloween edition in April. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where only members with the icon can be in the chat room. In case you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason. On Wednesday night, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Now, once again, I'm going to put on Money Never Sleeps while I go see what's going on because we still have Wi-Fi and I don't know why because it should be going out. But nonetheless, I got to go find out. I'll be right back. This will be a short little synopsis of Money Never Sleeps on Wall Street. This is in effect today.
You're all pretty much fucked. You don't know it yet, but you're the ninja generation. No income, no job, no assets. You got a lot to look forward to.
Blood, buddy. He's gonna be your blood.
Someone reminded me the other evening that I once said greed is good. Now it seems it's legal. But folks, it's greed that makes my bartender buy 3 houses he can't afford with no money down. And it's greed that makes your parents refinance their $200,000 house for $250,000. And then they take that extra $50,000, they go down to the mall. They buy a plasma TV, cell phones, computers, an SUV, and hey, why not a second home while we're at it? Because gee whiz, I mean, we all know the prices of houses in America always go up, right? And it's greed that makes the government in this country cut the interest rates to 1% after 9/11, so we could all go shopping again. They got all these fancy names for trillions of dollars of credit: CMOs, CDOs, SIVs, ABSs. I honestly think there's maybe only 75 people in the world who know what they are. But I'll tell you what they are. They're WMDs. Weapons of mass destruction. When I was away, that's what they are. It seemed like greed got greedier with a little bit of envy mixed in. Hedge funders were walking home with 50, $100 million a year. So Mr. Banker, he looks around and he says, my life looks pretty boring. So he starts leveraging his interests up to 40, 50 to 1. With your money. Not his, yours. Because he could. You're supposed to be borrowing, not them. And the beauty of the deal, no one is responsible. Because everybody's drinking the same Kool-Aid. Last year, ladies and gentlemen, 40% of all American corporate profits came from financial services. Not production, not anything remotely to do with the needs of the American public. The truth is, we're all part of it now. Banks, consumers, we're moving money around in circles. We take a buck, we shoot it full of steroids, and we call it leverage. I call it steroid banking. Now, I've been considered a pretty smart guy when it comes to finance.
That's fantastic, man.
And maybe I was in prison too long, but sometimes it's the only place to stay sane and look out through those bars and say, hey, is everybody out there nuts? It's clear as a bell to those that pay attention. The mother of all evil is speculation. Leveraged debt. Bottom line, it's borrowing to the hilt. And I hate to tell you this, but it's a bankrupt business model. It won't work. It's systemic, malignant, and it's global. Like cancer. It's a disease, and we gotta fight back. How are we gonna do that? How are we gonna leverage that disease back in our favor? Well, I'll tell you. 3 words. Buy my book.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, electricity has went off. That means I only have 10 to 15 minutes of battery backup for the Wi-Fi. And as you know, we still trying to make the show go on like usual, regardless of what happens. And so therefore I see that little in the background, but there's nothing I can do. So let's get into it, shall we? Please smash that like button, whoever sees this. That's right, we're doing the Halloween edition in April, and nothing we can do. Electricity went off like right when the live stream started in the whole block, as it turns out. So that's how it works sometimes. You never know what's going to happen. So what I'm going to talk about, squatters' rights. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go with that first. Now, I know that's going to say, Eric, we got squatters' right in Florida. Now, let me explain something to you in case you're not familiar with real estate. The bottom line to real estate is this. If anybody occupies your home, a squatter, A person breaks in, stays in your house for days. You tell a person, this is different. You tell a person, oh, come over and stay with us for a few days. Those situations and calling the police and saying, hey, I need them to move out, well, oftentimes the police are going to say that is a civil matter. You know what you generally have to do in almost every state? You have to give them a 3-day notice. That's right, you heard me. A 3-day notice to get the F out. And also, now, after you give them that and they don't leave, then you have to evict them. Are you listening? This is one of those things that when people were saying all of these corporations are going to buy homes, well, go for it. 19,000 homes in the Atlanta, Georgia area are owned by corporations. Corporations are not immune. People can be living there for months. And don't let years go by, because generally, anywhere from 5 years to 30 years, if a person stays in that house, they could have adverse title. Yeah, you heard me. So forget about the squatter's right for short term. Long term is even worse. You could lose everything if you don't go check on your property and try to get people out. So let's talk about this one, the main one where people started spouting off. Not in Florida, they don't do that. Come on now. The laws in the United States require you to evict. Police are not supposed to roll up to somebody's house and one person goes, I own the house. The other party says, I own the house, or I have the right to live here, or I'm renting from them. They usually aren't in the business of going through the deeds and titles and pulling it up and checking who owns the house. They also don't know about any tenant agreements or lack thereof. So therefore, they whirling up saying, you got to leave because this person said so. I don't see how they're going to enforce that, even in Florida. But I want to get to this real quick because I wasn't going to do this fast, but I'm going to actually get to it. Because the bottom line is, here's what the bill is. It has nothing to do. I do love what they did here. First degree misdemeanor for making a false statement in writing to obtain real property. There are people out here doing fake deeds. So I like this right here. This should be in everybody's book. Every state should have this type of law. If they don't, I don't know. But this is the one that Florida touted as blocking squatters, when in fact this does not block squatters. All right, a false statement in writing for real property, knowingly or willfully presenting a falsified document conveying property rights. This is those false deed BSs. This needs to be in every state if it's not. Here's the second thing. Second degree felony for any person who unlawfully occupies or trespasses in a residential dwelling and who intentionally causes 1,000 or more in damages. I do like this. So a guy breaks in, occupies your place, and they're out there taking the copper, the sinks, whatever else, right? And that's over $1,000 in damages, second degree felony. I love that. But that still doesn't get us out. Police gonna show up. That doesn't mean they can just take you out. And here's the last thing. First degree felony for knowingly advertising the sale or rent of residential property without legal authority of ownership. There are people out here right now who say, I want to come to your house. They're showing your house because they're taking pictures. Then they go and try to either sell it or rent it out. Then we'll meet people at the property acting like the owner. All of that has nothing to do with squatters. These are the three things that the bill does. Clearly, it has nothing to do with squatters, but they are touting it as if it does. I'm going to say this again. When it comes to real estate, it does require that you do not just have no check on your property. All right? You have to check on your property. A person can break in, stay in your home, live there for 2-3 weeks because you didn't go by. They are now a squatter, and all squatters at that point, you have to go to court to get them out. You can call the police, but there's something in Florida, I believe it's Florida, that they did. I'm not for sure. Yeah, here it is. with a form, it allows sheriffs to charge an hourly fee if the property owner requests their assistance to keep the peace while property owner or agent or owner changes the locks and removes the personal property. That's real nice, but you can't just do that. A landlord cannot just roll up to a house where somebody stays, whether they stay there illegally by squatting, whether you rent it to them, you can't just roll in and change locks if somebody's occupying the unit. Therefore, this puts police in a precarious situation because now you could have landlords removing people under the guise that they're squatters, and now you opened up your city and county to lawsuits. All I'm saying is the things that they're talking about that this does at the bottom has nothing to do with squatters, but I love what they do because this has everything to do with these new scammers that are out here trying to do stuff like this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to get that out of the way first. All right. Now, the other thing about squatters, because if you're investing in real estate, you need to understand these laws. And in fact, let me go back here because I skipped over this because I know I'm going to run out of Wi-Fi soon. So let me check this out. I know I'm going to run out of Wi-Fi in about another probably 5 to 10 minutes. Let me make sure I'm still got this on. Okay. What I wanted to show you is the laws in the United States generally say you can live. Let me see if they say it here. It's usually 5 years to 30 years. If a person stays in there, and I called it the adverse title, that means a person could actually, if they pay the taxes on the property and live in your property, some states it's 5 years, some it's 7, some it's 20, but then you could actually take title to the property. So again, when corporations are talking about, well, we're going to buy property and then they don't do nothing and people live there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years while they are not caring because they don't have a person that's paying a mortgage, people could take their homes and they could take your home, by the way. So if you have family homes and you think, oh yeah, we don't need to go check it out, well, you're going to put yourself in a legal bind, and who pays? You will. So I just wanted to point this out. All right. So there you go. All right. Are you still in Cali? No, not in Cali right now, man. In Georgia right now. As a property owner myself, that's infuriating. Here in Florida, we don't play that. Governor here just signed it into law. See, Victor Maria, I knew you were going to say something. But that's why I started off with Florida, because people are misunderstanding. The law has nothing to do with squatters. They think it does because he said, oh, we are going to deal with squatters. He's not dealing with squatters. The only thing he's dealing with is the other thing that's running rampant about people making up fake deeds and acting like they transferred it and signing, falsification of signatures and then acting like they signed it over to a person, which is them, when they didn't. That takes care of all of that. Like I said, this is what the bill does. It has nothing to do with squatters, quite frankly. And because of the real estate laws in America, it will create criminal penalties for violators. Again, this is false statement in writing to obtain real property or willingly falsified documents conveying property rights. That's what I was talking about. The second degree is this. Any person who occupies or trespasses in a residential dwelling and who intentionally causes 1,000 or more in damages. But again, if you roll up to a house, you are an individual person or a police officer. You have no way of knowing that the person telling you that this person is squatting in my house, if it's legitimate or not. How are you? I don't see how you can act upon that information because the other person says, I rent here and I rent it for a year. Or they said I can stay here if I fixed up their back patio. See, that right there puts you as a real estate investor in a precarious situation if you don't do stuff like that. You don't tell somebody you can stay here because you're going to be fixing up something in the house. That means you are giving consent. And that also means when police show up, they have no way of knowing that consent that you just gave means that you have to give them a 3-day notice if they decide to stay. You're putting yourself in a precarious situation under that situation. Now, regarding squatters themselves, totally like the house is vacant, somebody figures out how to open a window, open a door, and they go and stay in your house. This bill that came out does not address this. There's a reason. Like I said, in all states, they generally don't allow you to just point fingers and say this person's a squatter. So therefore, in most cases, you have to give them a 3-day notice. And then after the 3-day notice, you're going to have to evict them. Now, the thing is, in Florida, sure, you don't understand how I look at this, because I look at this as a different type of situation also. That, again, I'm a minority. Property has been stolen from minorities in America for the last 400 or 500 years. So now it looks like I can pay the cops to come out, and now we're in a situation of he said, she said, or who knows what. But I do know this. If I'm a minority and somebody shows up at my house and they say you don't own it, and now I'm supposed to go, okay, go look up the deed. Is that what we're going to be doing now? Because that's actually what could happen. All right. Somebody could show up at your house and say they're squatting in my house. You got to go. You really think the police is going to be going through the county tax records, county assessor's records, or title and deed? Seriously, I don't think so. Because if that was the case, this would be solving a lot of other issues when the police come out and all they say is it's a civil matter. All right. So I'm just saying this puts police in a situation of trying to be judge and jury and execution of real estate laws. I don't see that's how that's going to work, but I do see where this could turn into taking people's property, though. Somewhat moving people out, I should say, not taking, just moving people out. So that's precarious. Now let's get into something else. Here's Georgia. Understanding squatters' right. This adverse possession is in all 50 states. All right, just so you know. But here in Georgia, required spans either 20 years or those holding a color of title. So again, a recognition of ownership without complete legal documentation, just 7 years. So in Georgia, it's 7 years. All right, so you can see it right here. All right, so that's what we're talking about. Now, here's the adverse possession. The occupation of the property must be continuous for a period of 20 years in Georgia, plus they have to pay the taxes. So somebody could live somewhere for 20 years, pay the taxes, and now they could actually get ownership, color of title. All right, just so you know. So I'm going through this very quick because, like I said, I don't know how much longer. Now, here's this one. People in Texas, they're going to start saying some crazy stuff. Here's the thing. There are no short-term squatter rights in Texas. Who cares? That doesn't mean anything. Anyone squatting on another's property is breaking the law, such as criminal trespass, criminal mischief, that other the state of Texas incurs. Okay. All right. So here's the question right here. This will be the squatter's last notice to vacate the unit. Notice this right here, just what I told you. 3 days notice to quit. So this thing up here where they're spouting, there is a short-term squatters because you have to give them a 3-day notice. Here's the other thing. They will have 24 hours to move out before the sheriff can remove them. Before starting these steps, consult with your real estate attorney. See what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to say. So this misrepresentation that you can just get people out rapidly, you're going to find yourself as a real estate investor or owning real estate, possibly in a lawsuit. Can you imagine the squatter giving you a lawsuit, or the person illegally in your home now giving you a lawsuit? Unbelievable, because that is a thing. So again, I don't want you guys thinking that you're immune from squatters, immune from trespass. There are laws in place, And so therefore, even in Texas, you better do your 3-day notice to quit. Everything after that, well, police have authority to remove individuals who do not have the legal right to be on a property. But again, just be careful. You have to do something. You just can't call up the police and be like, hey, these guys are squatting, get them out. So again, just pay attention. And in Texas, let's go look at the adverse laws there. Let me see. Protect someone who has honestly entered and held possession, belief the land is theirs. It doesn't say straight off the top. But here it is. Texas is 10 years continuous adverse possession. So again, if somebody stays there and you don't do anything and you're off in Never Never Land and they live there for 10 years, pay the fees, pay taxes and stuff like that, the property taxes, well, they're going to get possession. Different states have different rules. All right. California, the one that people think that people can just move in, do whatever. And in the case of San Antonio, Texas, I was going to bring this up. In San Antonio, Texas, one of the examples I gave is what happened. A guy was going to fix something in their house. I think it was the floors. And they said, oh, you can stay in our house while you're fixing the floors. The guy never left. They called the police. The police are like, there ain't nothing we can do about this. You just said you told him he can stay here while he fixes your floors. So the question starts being, how long did he live here? Are we talking about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? Because the longer somebody lives there, you're giving consent. And that also means at that point, you have to go through the eviction process. Consent means eviction process, 100%. So that's what happened in San Antonio. And that's why I also wanted to talk about Texas, because people are going to say, oh, they can't do that. Well, they can. All right. Every state, there is somebody breaks in and they just stay there for a while. You're going to have a problem. You are going to have to do 3-day notice or eviction processes, however it goes in your state. But you can't just roll up and change locks and do all that crazy stuff because you're the owner. That's not going to happen. All right. So just keep that in mind. Now, this thing about California, it's the same. It's the same stuff. You can get people out. It's just that you have to go through the whole thing. And it depends on what state. So here we are again, evicting squatters. Notice 3-day written notice to vacate. Yeah, but see, here's the problem. They don't leave. So now you have to go through the eviction process, which once again, is that 1 month? Is it 2 months? Is court backed up? Is it 6 months? That's the question. So see, there's no difference. It's pretty much the same. All right. So I'm letting you guys know this. All right. So if the internet goes out, I just want you guys to know there's a reason, because it's on battery power right now. All right. So I want you guys to understand. And Brian P., he's responsible for sending me something about squatters' right. And it was San Antonio, I think. Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream, where it's members only that can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can only watch. But please make sure you smash that like button. And he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Hello, SSN fam. That's right. All is well with me, ladies and gentlemen. I should be in the DR probably Monday or Tuesday. We got business to handle. And by the way, we're supposed to have a contract for that real estate SSN Nation takeover. Should be going out tomorrow. Somebody said, I want in. I'm not shocked, because they know the numbers. But nonetheless, we will see. Some people have said that before. We'll see if they're going to sign and return the purchase agreement tomorrow. All right, Brian P. Hey, Eric, did you enjoy those emails? Yes, I did. Those news. That's right. The news, man. Smash that like button. Exactly. Smash the like button. So once again, I just wanted to illustrate. Owning real estate is no game out here. Like everybody thinks it's so simple. Everybody's like, oh, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer when you have everything under lockdown. If you know that the rules are, my place is empty, I better make sure I have somebody looking out at Wi-Fi, right? I mean, security, right? I better make sure that I have alarm system so I know if somebody breaks in, I can immediately address it because that's what you're going to have to do. Immediately address it. All right? So it's things like that that you're going to have to pay attention to. If you're one of these people that plan on buying property and then saying, "Oh yeah, I'll go around a month or I won't care about anybody going by to check it out," and go by 2, 3 months later, somebody could be staying there the whole time. And now you're going to have a problem because you're going to have to get them out. They're probably busted up your place. You're going to have to get like something's happening. All right. It's crazy, right? So this is what I want you guys to understand is that you just never know what's going to happen. Okay? Now I got to figure out why this is going down. Okay, there we go. All right. So again, this is the Wednesday night edition. It's the Halloween edition in April. Lights went out in the whole block. I heard a pop right when we were getting ready to go live on the live stream, and then checked, and yeah, the whole block's out except the next block across the street. The lights are on. How funny is that? But nonetheless, that's how it works. You know, live in a third world country, but you don't know it yet. All I'm saying. All right, I got the notification in the videos. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And again, make sure if you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell because tonight, investing tips, and this is squatters investing tips. You guys got to understand, it's all fun and games until something happens. Until somebody says, hey, I'm going to make a false claim that I own the property and go down to the title department and record it. Well, I like what Florida did and said, hey, that's a felony. All right, as it should be in every state. All right, that's good. That's a great thing right there. I like that a lot. That should be a thing. That should be a thing. I don't know if every state has that, but people have balls nowadays to actually do it. Crazy stuff. And back in the day, people knew that was like illegal, so nobody would ever try that. But in this day and age, people are trying to take people's homes and writing up fake deeds. They even write up fake liens against people's homes. Crazy stuff. Crazy. Which should be another thing. Which I do like that. I think the Florida thing does handle that because they said false or misleading documents. I think that covers it as well for that second-degree felony. So I like what they're doing. I like that proactive agreement. But the squatter thing, there's nothing you can do about the original squatter because, again, you're going to fall under the 3-day notice. I don't see how the police are showing up saying you got to move without knowing if the person is really a month-to-month tenant who does not have a lease. If the person has a lease, I just, that puts it in a very precarious situation, especially with laws that a tenant has. So if you go to court trying to kick somebody out saying, oh yeah, they're squatting in my property, and then they find out that, or their attorney finds out, no, you actually had a month-to-month lease, or you told them to stay at your house for 2 months and it's all good, they're going to be able to sue you and probably whoever else, the city, county, state. So you got to pay attention. Don't just go by what the headlines say. You need to make sure that you consult an attorney like the article said. All right. So this is real estate investing, ladies and gentlemen. We love it, but there are some pitfalls. Now, after all that little pitfalls, let's get back to the business at hand. All right? Because you got to save money. And when you talk about property rights, you always have to have a plan going in. All right? So if you say I'm buying property, but I'm not going to be there for months at a time and I'm not going to have a property manager, then you are probably going to find yourself in a situation where somebody could actually be using your place or stealing stuff out of your place. Because there's nothing worse than to show up at a place and find out all your cabinets are taken, some of your bathroom stuff is taken, some of your, lights are taken. That's the worst thing that could happen, right? So you got to make sure as a real estate investor that you stay on point and you have things in place for your property if you don't live there. All right? It's easy when you live somewhere, But it's hard when you say, well, I'm going to go buy property. See, this is another thing. Just like when we talk about buying property in the Dominican Republic, right? The same rules are going to apply. I don't know about their squatters' rights, but all I'm trying to say is this is just like buying property in another country, and then you have nobody going by to check it. You have no management, and you're just like, yeah, it's just sitting there vacant. I'll go up there 6 months from now. Same thing. Because if somebody breaks in, think about break in, windows, doors, that costs money. It's no longer $25 to $50 to fix these things. Back in the day, it was cheap to fix this stuff. Nowadays, it's not that cheap. So imagine you go there and then you find out anything that looks nice is all torn out. Your walls are busted up, your ceilings are busted up, and now it's costing you thousands of dollars because you didn't want to pay somebody to go by every 2 weeks. I mean, seriously. All right? Make sure that they go in and make it look like somebody's checking things out, right? Not just want to leave it vacant, because you never know what's going to happen. At least put an alarm system on. So then if the alarm goes off, at least somebody's going to come and you'll know immediately if you got to go fly somewhere, right? So all I'm saying is real estate investing is what we talk about here, investing in general as well. And we got to talk about protecting yourself. You got to know the laws. It's not just something that's very common sense, because most people think it's common sense. They're thinking, okay, somebody broke in my house. They've been there. How long you been? 2 weeks. And so you're thinking, hey, man, you need to leave out of my house. The person says no. Now you're thinking, just like everybody would, I'm going to call the cops. You call the cops. You say, hey, man, this person lives here. They got to go. The cops are sitting there like, start asking questions. And now it's up to the cops to determine, well, no, ma'am, sir, you better do that 3-day notice. You got to evict them. Or civil matter, or whatever they want to say. They might just walk off. And so you got to understand what you're dealing with. And if you have to get an attorney, well, you know that's could be 2, 3, 4, 5 G's. Right? So, like I said, so I just wanted to talk about this squatters' right, real estate investing and investing tips. And I keep looking because I have my the Wi-Fi covered and it's on longer than I thought. So again, I just had to get this because it is crazy stuff. Now, let's get into something else. Let me do this. This is another something that's very, very interesting because I have referenced inflation as 1970 because of what the feds are doing, what their crazy nonsense about not increasing interest rates high enough. This is a travesty. This is a travesty that they're doing this. So, once again, let me put this on screen because this right here is a travesty. So remember about a week or two back when I started saying what the Federal Reserve is doing? Look at this. Oh, this is going to go into, yeah, you got to buy this or whatever. Here, let's do this. Forgot when I did that. They're claiming that the Fed's first rate cut is still on pace for June with inflation dropping like a rock. Now, a week to 2 weeks, but I was sitting here. This is exactly the situation that the government, the Federal Reserve, has put us in because of their BS. So I want you guys to understand something. This thing about June. So let me explain. So let's just say last June, inflation went up to, let's just say it was 4%. All right. So now they did nothing. They didn't increase interest rates. They just said, oh, it's all good. We'll see how it all settles. Well, see, here's the thing. If inflation goes up to 5%, 5.5%, 6%, now they can claim year over year inflation is only 1%, 1.5, 2%. after the prices have already went up 100%, but they didn't do anything for a year. And so therefore, what's going to happen? Prices already went up. What are you going to do after you double prices on people? Try to double it again? Hardly. They're happy. They increase the price, reduce the quantity of whatever they're selling you. It's simple, shrinkflation. So they're happy with the price that they're selling it at because now you're getting less. So now what happens is the inflation numbers are fake because they didn't do anything. And at the same time, prices stayed the same. And so therefore, year over year, they can go, oh, it's only 2%. We can start reducing the interest rate. That is what it appears is going to happen if you go by what this guy was saying. June, they're going to decrease the federal funds rate. I'm like, this is absurd. It's clear that inflation is not 1 or 2%, right? Under any circumstance. It's only because the way they measure it after prices have doubled. So I just want you to pay attention. And also, if you don't understand how this is going to work, if they do this, again, I've talked about this for months. If they reduce the interest rate, cheap money's on the horizon, and cheap money only helps those that has assets because you can borrow against your assets at lower rates and you'll be able to make a lot of money. And if you have great credit, you'll be able to have lower rates. Gives you an advantage, but you have most advantages when you have assets that you can borrow against and they sit there and say, well, yeah, we'll give you 3%. 3%. That's low. All right? Somebody gives you $100,000 and you owe $3,250 per month for that. And you can take that $100,000 and go buy some property and rent it out. You can take that $100,000 and go buy business, and that's profitable and have some percentage. You best believe it's probably more than $250 that you'll be able to get out of that business. This is why the wealthy get wealthier, because they take these loans and then they turn them into these low interest loans, and then they turn it into something that gives them a higher return. They can arbitrage. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of a simple arbitrage. I have $100,000. I know I'm getting 3%. Why would I not just take the $100,000 and put it into JEPI at 10%? So I have a 7% difference. So I get 7,000. The bank gets back 3,000. Seriously. And start thinking, if you did that $1 million, now somebody's getting $84,000 a year on arbitrage. Are we serious right now? All right. So think about this. So that's why I believe they have prolonged it to do their so-called soft landing and wipe out the middle class. All right. So that's something else to think about. Again. Oh, yeah, I forgot my computer's going to run out too, because that's on battery power. Let me see, how much longer do I have? Looks like we have, okay. Looks like we have about another 20 minutes. If that other battery holds up, we'll still be on. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now, I just went by that fast, but make sure if you want to come to the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, you'll learn a whole lot about pre-construction rentals, getting your business started in an international location. Banking will be all started. You can have business banking. You can have your own personal banking account set up while you're there. That's why on May 13th, we're going to go to the lawyer's office. So that way, one of the lawyers, you'll already have sent them your information. So therefore, when they know you arrive, you'll get a call saying, come down to the bank, because everything has already been squared away. You didn't have to spend 3, 4, 5 hours at the bank with the documents. All right. So that's one of the things. It's only $199 until April 8th, midnight. All right. And now the second thing, which is going to be added to the page, is I would advise that everyone try to stay in Los Corrales, El Cordacito area. Why? Because around 10 a.m. every morning, we're going to have the van pick everybody up, transport, so that way nobody needs anything extra. So we transport you, we'll go to the places, so that way everybody can be together. Now, if you miss the transport at 10 a.m. in the morning, or shall I say 10:05, because we'll wait 5 minutes just in case somebody's late. After that, well, you have to catch up with this wherever you want to go. But all I'm trying to say is that's the idea. All right. You can stay wherever else you want. That's fine. But I'm just letting you know that would be the ideal location. So then everybody's in the same neighborhood. Airbnb properties are generally inexpensive during this time. We're talking maybe $50, $60, $70 per night or less. So it's real inexpensive for that. Airfare, generally, I don't know about the airfare. Depends on what airline you like. I mean, the cheapest airlines are going to be Frontier and Spirit, that or JetBlue. Those are going to be the top three. That's going to be the cheapest, generally. Others could start reducing their rate, but they haven't yet. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing. Let me do this while I'm thinking about it because I don't have a link down below. So I'll put a link in. Investors Lifestyle. The $199 does not include airfare or hotel. All right. So there you go. I put it here in the chat room. The other thing, we have the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Music Festival. That's going to happen 2 weekends in May, May 9th through the 12th. And the Investors Forum is May 13th, 14th, and 15th. So if you come to the music festival, you buy a ticket, you'll notice on the drop-down menus when you buy a ticket that there's a $1 ticket for the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Investors Forum, but only if you buy a music ticket. Then it's $1 and you can join us May 13th, 14th, and 15th. So if you do the first weekend, May 9th through the 12th, $1, you can come May 13th, 14th, and 15th for the Investors Forum. We're going out to projects. We're going out to Macau. We're going out to Larimar on the cliff to go see what that looks like with Cruise on Land, what that looks like. We're going to Vista Cana. So therefore, we're going to spend a day to go around to different areas so you can actually get the lay of the land and understand where things are and understand what the terrain looks like. So that will give you an idea if you want to invest there, whether it's business, whether it's real estate, or something else. Because like I said, I'm still looking for that storage spot. So there's plenty of opportunities still there. So just keep that in mind. And the music festival is 2 weekends. The 16th through the 19th is the second weekend. So again, if you want to come to 13, 14, 15, and then 16th through the 19th, either way, if you go the first weekend or the second weekend, it's $1. But if you aren't coming to the Punta Cana Music Festival and don't buy a ticket there, then you have to buy the $199 ticket. It's that simple. All right, let's see here. We have something else. Hey, did you see that stock MSTY paying $4.12 per share? Geomax. No, and I don't even know what MSTY is, quite frankly. This month, no. I'm skeptical, as you guys know. High risk, high rewards. Let's just call it what it is. That's a hell of a stock. So we're going to have to find out. I don't even know what MSTY is actually being a part of. I don't know what that stock is. So I don't think that's Microsoft. I'm pretty sure it's not Microsoft because you're not going to have that much movement. So I don't know what MSTY would be. But nonetheless, on April 8th, that's crazy. That also means, wait, the ex-dividend date must be today or tomorrow. Interesting. So, okay, well, let's just go see what this is. TY stock. Let's go see what this is. The stock is that's not MicroStrategy, is it? MST. Oh, okay, this is weird. This is weird. This is really weird. $42. Wow, 10% in 1 month? Is this MicroStrategy or something? Okay, all right. here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Since he brought it up, this is what we do here. Come to the live stream on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The chat room will be open. If you can't get in the chat room, Wednesday night is for members with the icon. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go to YieldMax. Don't tell me they use MicroStrategy. That would be crazy. That'd be real, real crazy. Wait, what's this? Oh, YieldMax. Okay, I put in YieldMax. Okay, ETFs. YieldMaxETFs.com. Here we go. Let's see here. All right, so he says there's an MSTY. Let me see. He might have put in the chat room already. Yes, I got some of that. Yes, I got some of that. Buying more tomorrow. Okay, so it is micros worthwhile. Is Bitcoin. Wow. MRNY. Where's MS? There it is. Let's see what it is. MSTY. Okay. Oh, it just came out. Well, it's $44. Strategy is what I want to know. Because I don't know what they're backing this by. Oh, here it is. MS option. Is this it doesn't even say. Usually it says. Is this MicroStrategy? Let's see. MSTR. I don't know. I don't know if it is. Well, whatever it is, it's $41. And they're giving 10% this month. And I don't know how he knows that it's $4 because they don't even have Euro said very clearly. Yes, they do options on MSTR. So Victor Morel saying he's buying some more. Yeah, again, I'm thinking if they have let me go see something real quick. Let me go. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, let me go look here. You get okay. So yeah, see, the 5th is declared date. Ex dividend is the 6th. Then they're gonna pay out 4 or 5 days later. So yeah, it could be. So this is very interesting. So this is gonna pop up tomorrow. I'm assuming, because the day is what's today? The 3rd. So either the 4th or the 5th. So yeah, if you buy MSTY, I guess you can get in on this $4. I mean, 10%. Are they giving out 10% of the stock price almost on? Jesus, that's incredible. All right, I just wanted to break that one out, but that's not everything, right? So let's go to. I'll just go to Apple, just as some people. You need to check this out. If you haven't downloaded Robinhood or Webull to get your free stocks, down below in the description box, please go down there and get it. Oh, speaking of that, Robinhood, SoFi, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, Ameritrade, Fidelity, everybody has it. All right. So let's see here. I'm gonna go to. Okay, You know what? I'm gonna go to Coney. Let's go see Coney. Cony, because people will get a kick out of this one as well. Oh well, maybe they won't. I went to the wrong page. All right, let's go back. I went to the prospectus instead of where I needed to go. All right. Victor Marrero, since you do MSTR, is that MicroStrategy? Um, let's see. The reason for the high dividend is over 100%. Jesus Christ. Is leveraging the volatility of MSTR. It's over 100% on options. So if you have YBTC and MS, you're getting $8.25 per share combined per month. Wow. Look at that. Look at this information, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Marrero bringing the heat. $8 per share. $40. And YBTC, I think, is less than that. Let me go see this. Let's go see this. YBTC. Okay, here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Because this is crazy. These stock prices, you would think, but they're not. Here it is, $53. For about a $4 per month. That's incredible. That's incredible. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So some people would say this one is a covered call strategy that's working well right now. You know, I don't know what's going to happen when they reduce the interest rate. The Federal Reserve reduces their interest rate and these stocks skyrocket. I mean, not these stocks. I'm referring to the stock market. What happens when they skyrocket and they're doing covered call strategy? This is going to be very interesting. I don't know. This seems like a win-win. So a good deal. Exactly, it's a good deal. If you can get 10% in 1 month, come on now. Technically have until tomorrow, 4th of April, exactly, to get the shares and get paid at the rate this Friday, April 8th. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was talking about. I think you're right. I think it's tomorrow. I think, no. Declaration is tomorrow, I think, Victor Marrero, right? And then on Friday, it'll be the ex-dividend date. So I always recommend just do 1 or 2 days before. In fact, no, it's too late to buy tonight. But early in the morning, you could get something in the rotation, right? So 10% in 1 month is one hell of a deal. Oh, electricity's back on, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Party time. Party time. We still get to roll. It looks like we're not going to be out. Okay, party time. Hold on. Let me get some lighting right. There we go. All right. Let's see what's happening. Yes, we're back. So at least it lasted. Unbelievable. The party still goes on. And this is a lesson to everybody. You guys, you don't give up until it's over, right? We were down to, let's see. We were down to about 10 minutes left on the computer charge. And for whatever reason, I don't know, the Wi-Fi should have went out a long time ago, but apparently we just now found out that can last about 45 minutes. Learn something new every day. So that's interesting. So again, we had the Wi-Fi still coming in, and we know it can last 45 minutes, but our battery on our computer does not last, but of seemingly maybe an hour under these circumstances. So how cool is this? We're back up and operational. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. And once again, if you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason why. Because on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. And now let's get into some other things, shall we? Because the YBTC by Victor Marrero and the MSTY mentioned our it's MSTY. Right, it's under MSTR. So let me just check something if I'm not. Is that MSTR stock? Let me go look. Let me see something. Yep, it is MicroStrategy. Okay, one hell of an idea to get into MicroStrategy right now because they're heavy, heavy. So the MSTY is MicroStrategy because I just looked up MSTR. Um, yeah, there's lots of volatility, so therefore it's off the charts. Off the charts. And year to date, I'm pretty sure because of Bitcoin. Yeah, 134%. Yep, yep. Michael Saylor's all in. Okay, let's see. Okay, so he's got. Okay, so. Oh, technically, get shares, get. Okay, so he's saying the declaration, no declaration today, 3rd of April. No, declaration was today. Oh, so okay, so then he's right. Then tomorrow is your last day, ex dividend date. Technically, I don't really like doing ex dividend dates, but hey, it is what it is. So 1,000 will get you $96 per month, just like that, 10% per month. Insane. This could actually happen for the next 6 months to a year because Bitcoin's going to rise because of the halving. So you pretty much almost have like 8 9 months to get potentially a lot of volatility, covered calls. So all I'm saying is that is pretty awesome. Victor Morel brings it on point. $96 per month for a $1,000 investment. Isn't that over 1,000 a year? Yeah, it is. 11 months gets you 100 and 1,090 at least. Wow. Check out your email. Yieldmax payment dates. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yieldmax payment dates. Where did you get this from? Where did you get this from? There's MSTR, and there it is, $4.12. This is incredible. TSLY is going to give out 68 cents. OARK, 47 cents. NVDY, $2.60. I'm just going to skip some. FBY, $1.17. CONY, $2.79. Microsoft, 73 cents. Wow. This is crazy. PYPY is 46 cents. AMDY, $1.01. And MSTY, $4.12. That's roughly a $41 stock. That's crazy. At the moment. That's incredible. So what does the number... Okay, hold on a second. Let me go see something. Victor Morero, is that the number you figured? 1,000 divided by 41 equals 24 times 4. $97. It's more than that because I only put in $4. It's 0.1, 10%. So that's 98. Damn. If they gave out $4 every month, that would be $1,100. I think. Hold on a second. Times 12. 1170. So 100 and... Wow. That would be incredible. AI 72. Okay, thank you so much for that. Let me know where you got that from. Or let everybody know where you got it from, not just me. So since we're in the chat room, everybody can figure it out. Okay, right now, if you can. Yeah, I got it. Hold on a second. Let me do this. I'll do this. Yeah, mailbox is full. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, here, let me do it this way. Now that we have a little bit of time. This is incredible. Incredible. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me see. Is this it? Nope. Nope, that's not it. Hold on. Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Okay. Let me go look. I don't know if that's it or not. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Show email, print, full screen. That's not going to work. That's cute. That won't work. All right, let's try this again. Let's see here. Oh, we got it. I think this is it. I'm pretty sure that's it. So you guys should be able to see this on. Yeah, you can see it. All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You can see. Does this have? Here goes. 4/4 is the ex-dividend date on all of these. My goodness, they're giving a week ahead of time pretty much for dividends. On Monday, our dividends coming out. So you guys can see all of the dividends being kicked out. This right here is Tesla, which is going down, down, down. But again, 68 cents for the TSOY holders, $1 for the FBIs. The Coney's still killing it. Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is dividend investing. This is real estate investing. These are investing tips. But again, I caution everyone, it's very simple. High risk, high rewards. He says email list. Okay, I'm not on the email list. Hey, Boston SSN fam, happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you as well, Vanessa Comagate. The seamless genius is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, AKA. And welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name. I appreciate it. And he says they sent it out. Okay, let's go. You're forgetting the compounding effect. Just invest 1K and check it in the year. Yeah, that's very well said, Victor Marrero. Because that's 1170. Well, actually, the 1170 at today's prices would mean you would have an additional 4. Is that 4? No, you would have more than that. You would have, well, you would have the same amount of shares. You would have doubled the amount of shares. So now, oh yeah, that would be incredible. 2,170. Well, actually be more than that because we're reinvesting. But let's just say $2,300. And let's say that's making the same, well, if that made 40, that would be double. You'd be making $200 per month and counting with a $1,000 investment, 20% every month. Talk about compounding effect. Holy smokes. Very well said once again. All right, I got to get on the email list then. All right, Vanessa Comagate, also known, like I said before, AKA Seamless Genius, ladies and gentlemen, because her business mind is unbelievable. All right. So again, that compounding effect, you're right about that. Man, wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see here, if you can see that, that is the yieldmaxetfs.com. Ex-dividend date is tomorrow. So if you buy early tomorrow, you should be able to receive dividends on Monday. All right? Just letting everybody know. And then every month thereafter. It's just that. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, what an awesome dividend exactly. Is that incredible or what? That's incredible. I mean, it almost makes you want to put in 1,000 on MicroStrategy for a minute, right? Because they're going to have a lot of volatility, and that's beautiful for options trading, and that's beautiful profits. So, I mean, this is like I don't know, I guess this is the first month they've had MicroStrategy because they didn't give out dividends last month. And I would expect for the next at least 7 to 8 months, that would be a profitable deal. Here we go. So if I buy 1,000 shares, I'm looking at over 4K payout? No. No. Um, no. What it is though it's $41 right now. That's the dividends that you're seeing on the screen. So 1,000 divided by 41, you would have 24 point. Well, it's a little. Let's just say you would have 24 shares. And so then you would times that by the $4, 4.12, whatever it is. I'm not doing it, but that's $100. So on Monday, you would have $100.48. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to divide that by 41. So you're going to have, instead of having the 24 shares, next month, you're going to have 26 plus shares, right? So now you go 26, and if they so happen to make it $4.12 again, which it's going to be different, but that's now 107. And so I don't know what it's going to come out to, but now you have 1107 or 26 shares, and 107 divided by 41 is another 2.6 shares. So then the following month, you're going to have 28. Well, you're going to have 29 shares. And so now 29 times, if it was the same, it's not going to be the same, but if it was, that'd be $119. So that's over 300, almost $330 in 3 months, which just turned around and bought more shares. And so at the end of a year, who knows what this number could be? I don't know. But all I know is in 3 months, it gets us 6, 7 shares. I'm thinking we're getting to buy more. So that means in 6 months, it's going to start escalating at these high rate of returns. It's going to get crazy. No, you're going to get probably another probably another $200 to $300 if it gives out this type of return. So your 1,000 will turn into, if you cashed out, 1,300, maybe more actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, it all depends. I don't know if they're going to give out $4 every month. If they did, then it's going to be a higher rate of return than that. It's going to be crazy because 306. You're going to make over $1,000 if you cashed out and the stock price stayed the same. You should have over $2,000 at the end of a year. So that's pretty good. 1,000 for 2,000, or 1,000 for potentially $400 or $500 per month in a year and a half, if they have the same type of return. So that's what this is really about. Long term versus short term, but unfortunately it's micro strategy. So high risk, high rewards. When Bitcoin settles in after the halving, who knows what's going to happen. But nonetheless, I like it. I like it. I'm sorry if I bought 1,000 shares. Oh, that's a different story. Yes. Yes. It would cost me 42,000. Yes. And if you had 1,000 shares on Monday, you would have $4,000. $4,120 to be exact. Exactly. So 10% I would earn about 4,200 a month. Exactly. Exactly. But that's high risk, high rewards. I would not bank on them being able to deliver that every month. It's volatile with these yield max ETFs. But all I'm saying is that's not bad. 10% in 1 month, I think a lot of people would say I already won. Let alone being able to possibly get another 3,000 or 4,000 the following month, or 2,000. I mean, this starts being in territories of, you have to look at it, right? So she says that I should have went down. So 10% I would earn 4,200 a month. Exactly. 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 So this puts you in a very good position. I mean, it's a lot of money, but at the same time, it's hard to pass up a 10% pop. 10% in 1 month is kind of hard. So the question is, let me see something. I got to do a mathematical equation. Let me see something here. 10%. Let me see. 4,200 times 0.25 Damn. 1,050 tax if you withdraw it. I'm just saying that's 25% because of early. $3,000. I mean, $3,150 for a $42,000 investment. I mean, that's that's pretty good. Uh, that's very good. So if we do 3,150 divided by 42,000, my yield is 7.5% because I had to give up 25%. But nonetheless, that wouldn't be too bad. Seriously, I mean, 7.5% per month. Who wouldn't take that? Seriously, that's that's like 90%. That's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, something food for thought here on the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. What can I tell you? Thank you, everybody, for mentioning this. The investing tips are on point. I got the notification and I smashed the like button. Says Joe Nay. Joe Nay has showed up. Joe Nay says, "What's good, SSN fam? You're here is what's good. The rest of the SSN Nation with the icon is here is what's good. And also what's good is the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with invaluable information. And you're in the no guru zone because we don't charge. We don't have courses. We don't do anything. That's why become a member of the channel and get an icon. Become a subscriber of the channel. That would be helpful as well. Smash the like button. That would be helpful as well because the YouTube gods show us no love. But we don't charge for courses. We don't have courses. Friday and Monday live streams, you could be in the chat room if you're watching this and ask questions. We don't charge for questions. And as you can see, you have people who are investors who actually do this. We don't talk about it and then say, hey, send us money so we can teach you. We're teaching you right now. You can go learn the information, study yourself. You don't have to pay somebody to do that. All right? It's that simple. That's what we do here. It's the No Guru Zone. All right? Yeah. Old Uncle Sam. Exactly. But if you can wait for a year, that's a whole nother ballgame. That's only 15% for Uncle Sam. Or some people would like this. You can just have your LLC or corporation go open up your own account, your own 401k, your own brokerage account, and then you could work for your company, do matching. Okay, I know some of you are like, did he just say work for my company and my company can do matching and that means I can buy more stuff with my company and myself? Bingo! And tax write-offs because you're investing in your own 401k in the company. Why do you think the big dogs keep getting richer, ladies and gentlemen? Because you out here doing W-2s. All right? Nothing wrong with that. But you can scale up a lot faster when you have a business. Tax laws are designed for the business person in mind. Okay? It's that simple. Joe Nay, I got the notification to smash that like button. That's 4 people that received that. All right. Thank you so much for that. These ETFs are paying over $1 per share per month. Here it is. Here's the list, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. I forgot. Oh, FEPI. He talked about FEPI right now. And you also know IWMY, which I don't know if it's over $1. I don't have IWMY. What's that other one? There's another one. QQQY. All right. They will diversify the risk, and diversification is mandatory. Because again, I always say high risk, high rewards, ladies and gentlemen. That's what this is. So I'm surprised we did not get banned. Coney. I'm surprised. Coney, I want to see what the price is because I do have Coney, so I know I'm getting some dividends. It's $28, and That's interesting because, again, that's based on Coinbase. So, of course, when crypto goes well, of course, they go well. 50% increase over the past 6 months for coin, Yieldmax ETF's coin. So now you got appreciation plus a dividend. Oh my. Very well. $2.79. So almost 10% right now for Coiny. CONY. That's the stock symbol. Jesus. AMDY, isn't that like, let me go check something out. Isn't that like 16, 17? Let's go look. I'm just curious. It's 20. They too have jumped up. This is crazy. Nope, they haven't jumped up really. But still hovering around the same $20. So cool. All right. So this is pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Marrero, thank you for that. YBTC comes out banging. This is their first month, though. Well, no, not YBCC, not that. It's the MSTY I'm referring to. Sorry. MSTY. This is their first month. Can they hold this out with MicroStrategy? I think MicroStrategy is going to be, they're using that income option trading covered calls. I think there's going to be a lot of that over the next 6 months to a year, especially for the halving. Coinbase, a lot of usage there as well. So it makes sense. You're being dealt a hand that the wealthy can use. This is why the wealthy get wealthy, because they're buying assets that pay us. Remember, in the SSN Nation, we don't believe in assets that do not pay you. I don't call those assets. So, all-time record highs in gold, $2,300. What am I going to do with that? I want to hear from these gold stackers who may be watching. Oh, wait. You have to be a gold stacker that's also a member with the icon next to their name to be here in the chat room tonight. I want to know what you're doing. So you bought gold when it was $1,300 an ounce 7-8 years ago. It's now $2,300. Are you going to sell it because it's $1,000 more? What are you going to do? And when it was $1,300, did you buy more so your dollar cost average went up? I just find this very fascinating. So now it's 2,300 all-time record highs. You just hold on to it? Or what? Me personally, again, I just have a hard time. A little bit of gold and silver, I understand. Holding a lot of it, I don't, because I'd rather be holding something that gives me $500 a month, $600 a month, $300 per month. And the stock market goes up also because why? Businesses increase their cost of goods and services. So it rises in today's money. It doesn't rise in yesterday's money. So that's why the stock market continually always goes up, because businesses have to increase how much they charge. So it actually works out where prices go up 9 to 10%, 8% annually, right? And that's the situation. I'd rather have that, my money working there, than like what we're talking about right here. We just made an example where if you were going to buy 1 ounce of gold right now for $2,300, you could be buying the same $2,000 worth of what we were just talking about earlier, the MSTR. Now, we're not saying that it's going to get $4 every month, but if it did, you would have over 50 shares, right? That 50 shares would be over $200 per month. That $2,300 that I spent on gold and silver, I'm not getting $200 per month. What I'm getting is a hedge on inflation, meaning that inflation goes up 10%, then what's supposed to happen with gold, silver, and precious metals, they go up 10%, but we know that's not the case. It's manipulated. So even if it did go up 10%, I still am holding nothing. Meanwhile, I'm getting 10% per month. Well, I don't know how long that's going to last, but all I'm saying is I'm getting a return. So my point I'm trying to make is this. Soon as I got, let's say I had the 50 shares, I got $200. Now, the other thing about stocks are the prices are volatile. Price could go down, so your overall value could go down. But if they still give out $3, $4, $5 worth of dividends, then I'm still going to be collecting $200 per month or more, right? So that is the key right there. So I'd rather have the money coming in, and then whatever it is that my stock price is, then at least that's still liquid as well. And if you have $200 times 12, and it just so happens you got $2,400, that means I've doubled my money, which now means the equivalent of this means I would have to have a situation where my gold would have to be $4,600 if the prices were still equal. So just keep that in mind. All right? Just keep that in mind. That's something to think about. It's money, ladies and gentlemen. It's money. We talking money in here. Gonna get shut down. Exactly. We normally have a problem up in here. They usually cut our feed, try to do whatever. It kind of happened a little bit earlier, but it didn't go down like normal. I'm getting some of those shares, Brian P. Brian, hey, Brian P. Wow, always winning the SSN fam. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much for that. In fact, Brian P., you're in a position that you could leverage the dividend money that you're receiving and put it into other dividends. Like Victor Morero was saying, you can spread your dividends out amongst other dividend stocks with lower risk and maybe even higher risk. It all depends. Like this new one, MSTR is a high. I mean, that's crazy. $4.12 on a $41 stock. That's 10% in 1 month. That's insane. So using some of your profits, which this man's going to get he's going to get over $3,000 just from his TSLY holdings, right? So he knows he can go and say, well, I know that's coming in, so I guess I'll spend $2,000 to get $2,000 worth of shares, which would be 50 shares. Is that right? Or is that not right? That may be right. That might be 50 shares. He knows he's going to get $200 this month, which is 10%, which is still great. If it was 10% for the year, that'd be great. But 10% in 1 month is awesome. So anything that happens after that is gravy. If he gets, if the stock gives out $2 next month and whatever, he's still winning by a large margin on the return numbers. So again, that's awesome information, ladies and gentlemen. We are making money in here. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. We do it the old-fashioned way. We don't have a panda club. We don't have a, hit us up on IG's club. We don't have call me for some sort of consultation fee. We don't do that. Why? We want you to use your money to make investments for you. That's what we want you to do. It's not really rocket science. You just have to study a little bit. Anything worthwhile is worth studying for. All right. We are always making money, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wow. Yes, that's right. You can match your own company. Exactly. Exactly. Let's get real. You can't do 100%. You can't do 50% because the IRS is going to be like, yeah, we see what you're doing. So, make it like 20% or something. Hey, whatever. But the point is, that's the advantages of your business, ladies and gentlemen. And then personally, you're saying I work for the company and it's a write-off for you because you said, you know what? I put in 7,000. I put in 10,000. What the heck? How much you matching? 20%? Cool. But meanwhile, you own the company, so does it really matter? You have dividends coming in, you have money coming in, and it's just multiplied. And since you're the company, you can always buy more shares, just like Michael Saylor's buying Bitcoin for his MicroStrategy company with the profits. Hey, that's how you can do it. Just saying. All right. Vanessa Comagate, I started with 100 shares each and now slowly building and agree. 1K shares is the goal. Just make sure you set aside money every 3 months for taxes because it will be ridiculous. Yeah. It is ridiculous. Have to admit it is ridiculous. And that's why you need the tax write-offs. There's a double-edged sword. Oh, he said it. IWMY is also $1.07. ULTY, the new one on the scene, is also $1.07. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Marrero, Brian P., all you guys giving out these gems. Man, we're going to have to start charging people for this. I'm only joking, ladies and gentlemen. You're OCs out here. We don't want your money. We want you to use your money to make you money. Anybody who's against you, I shouldn't say it like this, but I am. I'm going to say the way I look at it is when somebody says they're trying to help you, it's so easy. And then they say, oh, but give us a couple $1,000s. Now I'm starting to question, are you really making money, or are you really making money because people are sending you a couple $1,000s? That's what I ask. I'm like, I don't know. There's nothing wrong with selling courses. There's nothing wrong with ebooks. There's nothing wrong with even selling your own book that you're writing. I'm just saying, that's the way I look at it. So that's why we're us. Thanks, Victor. You're right. I'm cash heavy, so I'm always looking for investments. Vanessa Comagay. Hey, don't leave money at the house. Hey, you know the golden rule. You got to make your money work for you. Take those. Well, is it really how many? They're not really chances if you're into. Just if you want to go safe, just go JEPI or JEPY, JEPQ, whatever. 10%. That's JP Morgan. If you want to do high risk, high rewards, then that's Yomax ETFs. E. White is in the house. Another superstar investor is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name. And he says, good evening, SSN fam, is his tagline. I'm here picking up these gems you guys are dropping. Thank you, E. White. You never know what's going to happen and which way this is going, because this MSTY was not even on the radar tonight, giving out $4.12 dividend on April 8th, this Monday. And because ex-dividend date is tomorrow, somebody might want to buy $41 share of MSTY and get an 10%. And remind you, there is a tax situation. Victor Marrero, I want to know something. Because he says, keep money aside. Okay, you're not taking money out, are you? You're just doing the reinvesting, I think. All right. At Vanessa Comagate, I recommend you put that cash to work for you. If anything, since you have Robinhood, just save it there for 5% interest. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You missed on Monday's talk, the Money Making Monday live stream where Victor Marrero brought it up. Everybody, you got that opportunity. 5% interest plus cash back. Oh, man. And we're talking 3%. All kind of opportunity you could find your way to almost damn near 10% for using and investing there. It's crazy. Robinhood's went off the charts. I wonder how much their stock is these days. I wonder what the heck's going on with Robinhood. They're doing something crazy right now. At Victor Morel, okay, thanks. I do have some other ETFs as well. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Brian P. Exactly. Honestly, these gems are priceless. Good people in here. Thank you so much, Vanessa Comagate. And you're one of those good and great people who always help people out as well. So it's a mutual admiration society. And OCs, you got to be the CEO of your life. Don't let anybody else control your life. All right? Now, let's get into more of the conversation, because I did go over it. E. White showed up, and a few other people may be watching this. And I guess I should just go over here. You know what? Let's go to the SSN Lifestyle. Let's go SSN Lifestyle, shall we? Let me go there. We have a music festival. All right? May 9th through the 12th. You guys, you got to show up. You got to show up. Come and play with us. All right? Music. Investment opportunities as well, but that's not the focal point is jazz, smooth jazz, R&B, soul, Latin, Dominican bands on the first weekend. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Wangle as well. May 9th through the 12th, tickets are on sale now. If you want to come the second weekend, we got a top 100, top 30, top 20 hit artist, Club Nouveau, coming as we speak. It's All Right is on the charts. Sean Rayford, DJ Mango, and a few others, Lucky Weatherspoons, not on the charts yet, but guarantee you he will be on the charts within a year. All right? I'm telling you right now. All right? Now, that's just for starters. We're going to have some more. I'm just not going to announce some other artists coming because we got to have that love, right? Got to have different artists coming. They're coming. And again, that's where you can get your tickets. But notice here, the important ones. If you buy a ticket, here, let me, I took that off, so I'm going to have to add it. Once again, hold on a second. Let me do this how we got to do this. I actually took it off the page. All right. So you guys have noticed SSN Lifestyle's looking a lot better than the old SSN Lifestyle. So I hit the Explore, so it takes you here. Now, if you go to the Punta Cana Music Festival, which is known as PCMF, that's right. There's going to be a 2025 version as well. We're going to make this every year. We're taking over, so it don't really matter. So, May 9th through the 12th. May 16th through the 19th. 2 weekends. But if you want to stay for 1 week or you want to stay for 10 or 11 days and go to both weekends, if you buy a ticket at any one of these events, it's $1 more and you can come to the Punta Cana Investors Forum May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Tickets are $199 until April 8th on midnight. Then they go up to $249. All right? And every week thereafter, they're going to start rising. So get your tickets now for $199. It does not include airfare. It does not include hotel. But I want to let everybody know, I would highly suggest the spot to stay in right now, Los Corrales, El Cordacito area. Why? Because we have enough people. Depends on how many people are coming. The van is going to be pulling up at the car wash across from La Bruja at 10 a.m. in the morning. And at 10:05, if you're not there, we're heading out. You'll have the schedule. You'll know where to meet us. But on Monday, the 14th, we're going to be at the lawyer's offices. All right? You can have your hours of pleasure asking questions, trying to start a business, trying to deal with real estate, trying to deal with residency, immigration, whatever you want to talk about. They're not going to be charging you per hour. All right? So you're going to have your way of doing things. The 14th, we're going to go out and around. So you're going to get the lay of the land so you can understand what opportunities you have if you want to be a business owner there. And by the way, I suggest if you want to be a business owner, you better be asking those SRL questions. All right? And I'll just tell you straight up, if you want to do an SRL and you bring somebody with you, you're going to need 2 people to have an SRL, which is an LLC or corporation. You need 2 people. You can't do single member like you can in the U.S. All right? Even if you say, I own 100%, you can't even do that. You have to give a certain percentage to another party. All right? So 1%, it could be that. But you can own 99%. Whatever you want to do. But I'm just letting you know, you have to have 2 people because you have to sign, notarize, do all that stuff at the office. And the name you choose has to match exactly the business you are doing. You can't do crazy stuff. You can't call yourself Equilibrium LLC and have nothing to do with the High Wire Act or Equilibrium. It has, and then cut trees. All right, they'll probably reject that name if you say, yeah, we're being lawn care service. All right, so I'm just letting you know. You have to tell them what you're doing, submit it to the government. They have to approve your name. And if they accept it, then whatever activities you say your company does, that's what you do. If you deviate from that and something happens, well, you could be in trouble. And I don't know what the trouble is, but all I know is don't do it. So I'm just giving an example. All right, the 15th schedule, I'm going to leave that as a surprise so far. All right, we'll have more to do. Now, 3 days, 13th, 14th, and 15th, we are going to be going around having fun. And also business related. But again, for all those who may be coming, you want to open up a bank account. Once you sign up, so whoever has signed up right now, after April 8th, I'm going to be sending everybody who signed up so you'll understand what you need to open up a bank account. Different banks want different things. I think Santa Cruz Bank, they wanted, at Santa Cruz Bank and Scotia Bank, I believe it was 3 months bank statements. Banco del Lahoro, they want 6 months bank statements. Everybody's going to want your W-2 forms if you work for somebody. If you're an LLC, you're going to have to bring over a copy of your articles of incorporation that show that you are the main guy. All right, you own the company, meaning more than 25%, and you're authorized to show that you're self-employed. All right, so you're going to need that. Either way, W-2, if you work for somebody, you're going to need your articles of incorporation showing you're the owner of the company. Just saying, if you're self-employed. Simple. You're also going to need $500 if you want a USD account. You're going to need anywhere from $50 to $100 in peso, meaning 6,000 peso, let's say. All right, to open up an account or less. Depends on the bank. So that's what you're going to have to do when you're there. I'm missing out something else. I'm pretty sure. I just can't remember. But I'll send you guys some of the stuff you need. That way, when we go see our attorney, Johan Confidante, before you arrive, you email to Gresha the information. So then that way, when we get there, she'll already have it. She already knows we're coming. And then that way, on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll get the call, come to the bank, and then they open up your bank account. You don't have to wait 15 days, 16 days, 5 hours at the bank. You roll in, you'll be there for like an hour. All right? It's that simple. And if you want to do an SRL, well, you can do that too, but you're going to deal with Glenny Hachicuevas on that one because Johan doesn't do that. That's not his specialty. He doesn't do it. So she does it. That's her thing. So again, we get special discount rates because you're SSN Lifestyle, SSN Nation. So you won't have to pay $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 to open up an LLC. You're going to pay less, but I'm not going to try to give the rate. All right? I'm just letting you know. Okay, so there you go. Here we go. Oh, they have that gold card. There you go. They have that card that gives out rewards. Those come in handy. Comes in handy, correct. I don't take money out. What I get from dividends this Friday, I reinvest half in high yield dividends and the other half in growth for option trading. In July, that's what's going into my bank. Now he's going to pay the taxes. Okay, I get you. That's how you're supposed to do it. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it. Victor Morrell should have that masterclass, ladies and gentlemen. He shows the gems every time. So again, go over here, get your tickets. If you want to come to the Punta Cana Music Festival, again, May 9th, 7. Okay, look, let me explain something. There's a VIP Tix. There's also Platinum Tix. But that includes your hotel if you go Platinum. But the VIP and Platinum holders, you guys have your own welcome dinner party. All right? And it turns into a jam session. And then general admission goes out at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. at night. General admission don't get to come to the jam session. Don't get to come to the world famous chef fixing all the VIP members. You don't get to have the meet and greet with the band and all this kind of thing going on. But again, you can get general admission tickets. That's fine. You just won't be sitting up front. You won't have access. There'll be different accesses, right? So here we go. Okay, 16th to the 19th music, but I need business as well. Hey, get your 16th through 19th tickets. And then in the same, in fact, let me show. I'll just show it. All right. Here, I'll just show it. So here's tickets down here. So You buy, let's just say you come the 16th through 19th, general admission, $4.99. And then on the same ticket purchase, $1. So now you can come the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. And now you can come to the investors forum. That's how it works. All right? Just letting you guys know it's that simple. But if you aren't coming to the Punta Cana Music Festival, then you cannot buy the ticket for $1. You have to go to the investors forum, tickets $1.99. Until April 8th at midnight, these turn into $2.49. You can get as many as you want. Just saying. All right? So there you go. That makes it nice and simple. Easy peasy for everybody. All right? It's that simple. Right there, right here, right here. And oh, by the way, the 16th to the 19th, Sean Rayford and Friends is going to be playing the May 9th through the 12th. What I mean by Friends is it's like him, 2-3 pieces, because he's going to be doing a lot of jazz. He's going to be doing some special things. He's also going to stay the following weekend, and he's going to have his band, The Experience. Sean Rayford Experience with the full band is going to be playing with Club Nouveau. DJ Wangle and Friends will be there at that one too. But we're going to have another DJ for the next weekend that's going to be doing some special event. And we have VIPs once again. But unfortunately, VIPs are separate. They don't roll over. All right? So there you go. Hopefully that helps everybody out. And speaking of business, remember this 4,693 square foot villa in Punta Cana Village? It's still available at $880,000 because nobody hardly knows about it. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Gosh, decisions. Hey, we like decisions. Victor Marrero, smart moves. Exactly. What I want to know, though, Victor, let me know. So you're withdrawing in July, but what happens if you didn't withdraw until next July? Or is this part of how you are doing your investment strategy? I'm curious about that. Because there's buckets, so to speak, and I'm pretty sure your accountant's probably been like, hey, if you do this, then this happens. If you do that, this happens. There's a lot to it, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, they don't make it easy for you, but that's why you have to have experts in the field, because you let them handle it. And then they say, this is what we're doing, because you can't remember everything. There's so much stuff that you can do. But as long as you buy assets, as long as you have holdings, then the tax guys who are pretty good will be able to minimize your tax obligations. All right? But if you do it yourself, you may not be able to minimize your tax obligations. So Victor could teach a class and charge a fee. His info is valuable. You're right about that. You are absolutely right about that. Yep, because he's one of these people that has assets. So here's the thing. A lot of us talk about the real estate investing. So you have real estate money coming in. That's taxable. Then you have stock dividends even coming in, and stock appreciation if you sell stock. That's taxable. Now it depends on how much of it's taxable. What did you do? Did you put money into the 401k to minimize taxes of some sort? Did you turn your business into an LLC where you have tax write-offs, or an S corp? I mean, there's many different things that come into play where all of a sudden you go, yeah, well, I made like $300,000, and they're just like, okay, that's not good on the surface. That's not good on the surface. But now all of a sudden you start going, well, see here, I got this write-off for this. I have a property management company. I gave them money. Then we had to do this. All of a sudden it's like, oh, it's like, phew, you okay, we can get write-offs on this. So now your tax liability went down significantly. All right. And here's one of the other things that I find very fascinating about a lot of people. So what ends up happening with two sides of a coin. You have assets, you make money, and then you have people that squeeze every bit of tax exemptions they can get. So let's just say a person makes $300,000, and for whatever reason they get it down to where they're only liable for 120,000, right? So now what happens is you say, "Oh, I think I'm going to go buy a house." You want to buy a house that's $700,000 because you make the money. Well, guess what? Because you filed your taxes saying you only had $120,000 is what you made, that's what they're going to claim and say you've made. So they're going to say, "I'm sorry, sir, you don't qualify." So keep these things in mind. All right? So I'm just saying. So that's one of the things right there. All right, here we go. Based on the way I'm investing, and if I reinvest all the dividends I get per month, July 2025, I'll be getting $15,000 per month in just dividends. Oh, if I wait another year, that's $36K per month. Crazy. Well, that speaks for itself about these yield max ETFs and the way he's investing, ladies and gentlemen. 15,000. Well, that's 175,000. Wait, no, 180,000. That's over 180 actually, because yeah, $180,000 a year gives you serious tax liabilities. Eventually, serious, and 36,000. That's not good. That's not good. And Brian P says, "Wow." Well, Brian P, you're doing the same thing. I mean, come on now. Come on now. He says you're going to be doing the same thing. It's pretty crazy. We know what you have. You were kind enough to share some of the holdings. You're already at like probably 5,000 a month anyhow. So maybe even more. I mean, it's crazy. Good job, you guys. Great job. See, ladies and gentlemen, no barriers to entry. Nobody's stopping you. And then with all that said, it's time that I do a little break because I need a little water. So that means we got to do a commercial of some sort. So I think you know what? This is apropos. Let's do this one.
Land. There's no better time to buy than now. And no easier way to buy it than at the big public land auction coming to a city near you. You bid, you win, you're a landowner.
We were maybe 3,000 less than what we expected to pay, so we're very happy. Very happy.
Very. We got a great deal for 2.5 acres of land.
Hundreds of parcels must be sold, from city lots to 10, 20, even 100-acre parcels. Now you can get clear titled land at auction prices. Call to register now to reserve your seat. It's free, and you get the complete auction catalog. You don't need to be a real estate expert to bid.
This is my first time, and it was so easy.
I love to work with them, and this is the first time I'm being here, but I'm planning to come back more and more and buy more properties.
Check out the properties you like. Look at maps online and at the auction. Do your homework, then attend the auction and win.
Great property. It was 5 acres, and I'm planning to do a lot with it, but I want to buy more properties now. That's why I'm here.
Land auction buying power means no middleman, no real estate commissions, and it's an auction, so you set the price.
I walked in and it was super simple.
You can get property 20%, 30% below retail value if you actually went there.
Down payments as low as $100, and Land Auction has easy financing available right at the auction.
Land auction financing was no problem whatsoever, sailed right through the process.
I'm not going to recommend land auction to anybody because then I'm going to give all the good deals away.
Visit landauction.com to see our auction calendar. Get ready to reserve your seat and come to the public land auction right in your city. It's free. It's fun. It's like nothing else.
Landauction.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. That's right. We get around. So, discountlots.com is leftover, I believe, of landauction.com because a lot of those parcels that they have are similar parcels that they used to have a long time ago. No credit check, no qualifying, takeover payments. And now it's up to your imagination what you want to do. Nobody's stopping you. There's no qualifying. But again, I've given the story several times, and I'll say it once again. You can buy real estate, and whatever your mind wants to design is what you can do. So somebody would say, why are you getting 20 acres for $5,000? Well, I don't know if you can do that anymore, but back in the day, you could get like for $4,000 or something, get 20 acres in the desert. And so I always like name dropping every now and then, right? David, who is Ray Charles' son, that's right, Ray Charles the singer, his son used to come to the land auctions. And I told you guys before, he came up to me one day. I didn't know him. He came up to me and says, hey, man, I see you buying property. I see you at a few auctions. So tell me what's going on. What should I do? And that's when he was looking for 20 acres in the desert. And so he started telling me why he's looking for the 20 acres in the desert. And he was like, "Lo, man, these guys, they bought 14 grand. I don't know what's going on. I've been to auctions before. They're not that much." And I said, well, here's the thing. It's because it's early. I said, whenever it's early, everybody gets the fever, right? But notice they have over 100 properties in this list. After the first 20, 30, I mean, then they have more. So they had more than just 120 acres. They had like 6 or 7 of them at the time. So I said, yeah, the first few, they're going to be high because you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people. After one person or 2 people buy them, then they're off the board. They're usually not going to buy another 20-acre parcel in the middle of nowhere. So he listened to what I had to say, and he says, okay. So I see him in another auction. And at this particular auction, he starts telling me I have a plan. And at this particular auction, I think he bought the 20 acres in the desert for $4,500, something like that, I think it was. And his plan was genius. So imagine being able to buy 20 acres in the desert, and in California and in most states, you always have an easement. So it could be landlocked, but you could also, you'll have an easement, all right? So he proceeds to show me the land. But he listened to what I said. I said, don't do a landlock. Make sure you have a road access. So he got the land, and it was like an hour into the auction. So the first few ones went for 12 grand, 13 grand, 10 grand, and he patiently waited for something later in the auction, and he got it for 4 grand because all the other people who bid, they were like got their 1 or 2 or 3 properties. So anyhow, he gives me this plan. People have heard this before. He says, hey man, I'm going to have a motor vehicle recreation park. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good. I said, so what do you actually mean though? I mean, you mean like buggy rides or go-kart rides in the desert or something? He goes, no. I'm actually going to create those motorcycle so they can do the jumps and motocross and this, that. I said, whoa, wait, motocross? He's like, yeah, I'm going to build a track out there. I'm going to build some mounds so people can actually use buggies and things like that. So I was like, okay. So I was like, wait a minute. So you don't need any electricity then? He's like, exactly. So even if the lot doesn't have electricity coming to it, you're open during the day so people can use it. I was like, that's good. That's very good. So then I said, well, wait a minute. It's in the middle of nowhere. What about when people are hungry or going to get something to eat or drink? He goes, exactly. I'm going to have some sort of generator, solar, and I'm going to sell food and drinks and things like that. I said, oh, that's genius. I love it. And I'm going to charge people to come. I said, oh my God. For $4,500, I said, you're actually going to be able to make hundreds of dollars per day or thousands and not have to really do anything. And you're going to actually control the whole environment. He goes, yep, that's it. I said, that's pretty damn good. I like it. I really like it. So out of thin air, he could do this. And all he had to do was get the dirt moved around, mounds and all that. And everybody knows you can get backhoes, you can get everything like that from Home Depot. Seriously. So it was cheap to create and a great, great business to do. That was a long time ago too. All right. So just letting you guys know. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Vanessa Comagate, I will commit myself to show you guys the way I do it. Now that I am retiring, we're going to ride this boat. Victor Marrero, he's already looking at Victor Marrero's like, wait a minute. I'm riding the boat right now, but if this continues to go this way, the compound interest is going to go like this. And he's just going to be like, wait a minute, what about that rental over there? He's going to be like, what about that rental over there at Orlando? He's going to be like, forget about all that. I was so busy making Disney money, I didn't educate myself on investing. I appreciate you guys. Vanessa Comagate, hey, I'm glad you're here because you educate us again. This is a mutual admiration society. This is where the people who want to make money reside. This is why we're blocked. Because again, notice there's no barriers to entry. I pride myself on this. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Discount lots, no qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. You take over payments or you make payments, and you can control real estate. And normally it goes through a closing process, so it's titled to you. You're just going to have a lien holder. So therefore, you can actually go and do what you want to do. Pretty smart, right? So just think about it. Victor Marrero, there we go. There we go. Showing nothing but love. Victor Marrero getting to be soon to be retiree and sharing gems. Hey, you guys, Victor Marrero is going to go on the road, so you never know what's going to happen. You might not be able to get some of these gems later, so this is going to be on replay for a while, forever. And so therefore, you will be able to see these gems he's talking about, the gems that Brian P's talking about, the gems that anybody's talking about tonight. You'll be able to always have that as your playbook. And a little nuggets every now and then, right? Like having your company have a 401k and you work for your company, so you match, kind of deal. Go to, man, I hate that TD Ameritrade blended in with Schwab because it was so easy. They had their solo 401k, they had the company 401k just easily sitting there on the page, so everybody could just go there and be like, oh, I see, I can open up my LLC or my corporation and have my own account. It was beautiful. I don't know, Schwab's a little different. But nonetheless, just saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is worth gold what has been discussed tonight. What we haven't discussed a lot was, I mentioned this previously about the Investors Forum in the DR, was pre-construction real estate investing. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. You do have to put down maybe 10%, but 10% on a $120,000 property is $12,000. 10% on a $90,000 is $9,000. Then you make monthly payments over 2 years, generally, sometimes 3. And sometimes that could be $500 a month, 7 or 8 or 9. The more it costs, the more you have to, pay monthly. And then you might owe anywhere from 30 to 40% on delivery of your unit. So now a bank in the Dominican Republic started loaning, Banco Popular started loaning on the value of your property. So you have to understand, we have members of the channel, subscribers, who bought, I'll give an example, at the beach, a penthouse, $310,000. It got appraised for $500,000. If that appraisal is accepted by the bank, they can actually say, I want my, 60%, 70%? I mean, that's $350,000. So you've already put in $90,000. So you only owe $220,000. So now you have money to go buy something else. You could say, hey, give me $310,000 or $320,000. I want $100,000 so I can invest in something else. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And since your other place is built and you're going to rent it out, I'm assuming you would make your some of the money monthly and you can pay for that loan. And now you go buy another place, and now you have a second revenue stream, whether it's a business. that's making money, whether it's another business entirely that you want to start and definitely going to make money. Either way, you're off to the races. That is something new in the Dominican Republic. New. And that's awesome. And heaven forbid if they do something crazy like in America, because I'm going to tell you right now, there used to be a time in America when you were making monthly payments under a contractual obligation. And and I'm talking to just 10 to 15 years ago. If you were making, let's just say that 310,000, let's just say it was costing them $2,000 per month, right? And you were doing that for 2 years. At one point in time, you would get a lender that would say, you've been doing that for 2 years and that's a fixed amount. They would treat it as a reinvestment loan. What I mean by that is they would say you are just refining. So now you would say, okay, I'm refining, give me 310,000 at a lower interest rate, and now you got the money coming in under a refi loan. And if you do a refi loan, I've done it myself. That's why I'm saying that. I don't think they do that anymore. But the point is, when I did mine, I said, whatever it takes to not have any restrictions. Remember, when you do loans, you have a say. So I said, if I want to resell within 2 years or whenever I want, I need 0%. I don't need to hear 1 point or 2 points. All right. So they agreed. They said, okay, 0%. And then I said, there was 2 things. It was if I wanted to resell or if I wanted to refi again because home prices go up. I said, I want 0 points. And they said, okay, we agree. So those are the 2 things, because if they add a point or 2, you could be missing $8,000 plus whatever other fees it costs to get a new loan, or $8,000 from your sale price, right? So you don't want to miss out on any money. So just keep in mind. But anyhow, once upon a time, you could do that. I suspect when interest rates go back down, you'll be able to do that. But you got to be holding assets, ladies and gentlemen. All right? You got to be holding assets. All right. Hey, boss, did you talk about squatters? Yes, I talked about the squatters. My friend had a squatter situation last year. Yeah, if it's in California, that means we were talking about it. It's standard real estate, because we talk about real estate investing. And I tell everybody, regardless of what anybody says, squatters don't really have rights. It's just that the way the real estate laws are designed, it kind of protects tenants and renters. So therefore, that protects a squatter that could be in your place. And what I mean by that is you have to do something. You can't just roll up and be like, hey, I'm just going to throw you out and get in a fight and whatever else. You generally have to do the 3-day notice, just like you're going to evict somebody. And then you have to go through the eviction process, which is crazy in itself, but you're the one that's got to spend the money. Now, I hope it was that easy for your friends, but that's generally what could happen. But unfortunately, if somebody's squatting in your place, oftentimes they're tearing up your place. And that brings in a whole nother issue. And again, I've never had a squatter situation, but again, that's the things that you have to watch out for when you're a real estate investor. Everything ain't shiny and rainbows and all that. When you do business, keep in mind, it's always business. You never know what could happen. All right. I would stake out my property. Then when they leave, I know what you're going to say. Unfortunately, Vanessa Comagate, that's not how it works. I know what you're going to say. When they leave, you're going to change the locks, do whatever. I know. Because that's what everybody thinks. It's my property. Change the locks. I know. That's what everybody thinks. And so then what happens when the guy comes back and he busts the window and do whatever, or goes through a window, whatever the case may be, you still are under the same rules. You're still going to have to. And here's the thing, because we live in the litigious United States. In fact, let me do this. Here's the funny part. You change the locks. You do whatever. The person could sue you. Can you believe this? Let me see if there's any articles. Check this out. Squatter rights can sue if you change locks. Let me see. Let me see if there's any lawsuits that come up. Um, Let me see. Let me see. I don't want to get to the legal. Can I? This means you must serve her. No. Yeah. Here we go. Free advice. This is what everybody thinks because they own the land, and you're thinking, "Oh nah, man. I'll just go change the locks." Right. If a squatter won't leave, can I change the locks? She has keys and gets mail here and won't leave. I want to change the locks. She is not on the lease and has never paid rent. Not 1 cent at any time. I want her to leave and she won't. Not to mention she is extremely volatile and verbally hostile to say the least. Can I simply change the locks? First of all, the person appears to be what many states refer to as a licensee. This is 12 years ago though. But it's still the same rules. That is someone who was invited in the premises with the owner's legal permission, long-term guest. Therefore, although there is no formal lease or even rent being paid, she still must be afforded all of the legal protections that a month-to-month tenant would be granted. This means that you must serve her a notice to quit the premises. That's the 3-day notice, ladies and gentlemen. If she then refuses to vacate by the specified date, you will have to file an unlawful detainer, aka eviction. Once the court issues you a writ of possession, then if she fails to remove herself, you can get a sheriff to do it. There you go. Now, you must be aware, however, that if this person had attained the status of legal tenant, as opposed to merely a licensee, then only your landlord can evict her, since only landlords may evict tenants. She may have achieved such a status. So, again, but this doesn't talk about lawsuits. So I just want to tell you something. There are people who will go out here and do lawsuits for this. This is crazy, right? I know it's crazy, but this is one of the real estate, well, I don't really want to call it pitfalls, because most of the time, if you own real estate, you actually have property managers, right? And so you normally are going to put yourself in a situation where somebody breaks in and then you're going to go do whatever you need to do. But notice here, the owner must go through the civil court. See, this is what I'm talking about in Florida when they're talking about, oh, we can't do it. I'm telling you, pretty much in Florida, I think you're still going to have to go. They're going to show up. The police are going to show up and be like, okay, yeah, well, you got to do civil matter. And that means a person can stay there longer. So once again, though, I'm just saying, every person that's a landlord thinks that they can just change locks. Unfortunately, if you have a squatter, that will not work. And there's reasons for that. Because of the laws, you have so many people that rent in the United States and even around the world. And I don't know squatters' rights around the world, but in the United States, you have so many people that rent, and landlords, sometimes they're just as bad as a bad tenant. You have a bad landlord, and they roll to the house and lock the door, lock people out for, I don't know, whatever reason. And so then there's laws based on that, because landlords in the past have done that. They want somebody out instead of doing it the right way, saying here's a 3-day notice, or you've lived here for a year or two, you need to move. And then they don't understand that if you live somewhere like in California, you live there for 2 years, you can't just move somebody out. You have to give them 60 days. I mean, that's the way it is. So if you roll up and lock the doors saying, hey, I needed this place in 30 days, I'm locking the doors, you're going to be in a lawsuit as a landlord, because they have up to 60 days. You have to give them 60 days after 2 years. If they live there for 1 year, then you give them 30 days minimum. So these things come up, and that's why those laws are in effect to protect the renters. And that's why you just can't kick people out just because a landlord says they got to go. That's why there's a 3-day notice on most states, and then you have to evict them. And then unfortunately, eviction could be 2 months, 3 months, a year. You know, it's crazy. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, exactly, Eric. It's nuts. People need to watch their property. Exactly. That's exactly right. Eric, you lived in Puerto Rico. Do you think squatters will have a chance? That's what. First of all, that would be a hell no. That would be a hell no. Oh, Victor Barrero's funny. Remember, Puerto Rico is not a United States state, right? It's a territory, and it acts like it. That won't happen, right? In Puerto Rico, you're not going to get those same rights as the United States gives them. Hey, when I lived in Puerto Rico, I remember when my bicycle got stolen. Man. Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. It was like the hunt. It was like the hunt. Nobody could ride around with the bike. It's like a specialty bike. And it's like, oh, when we seen the dude, it was like, oh, this is bad for him. Because I can only imagine somebody squatting in Puerto Rico. You're right about that. I understand. Yep. Yeah, it's not the United States. I don't even know if the same rules apply. In fact, I doubt it. Because there's no way somebody's going to allow somebody to squat in PR. That's funny. That's a good one right there. I have to agree with you. I don't know about the DR either. And I'm pretty sure the DR ain't going to play. See, this is one of the things. When you start going international outside the United States laws, other countries could just have different laws altogether. They'll be like, what do you mean you're living in my house? I said, no. Changing locks? Shooting you? No, all goes. Exactly. Street justice, right. Exactly. So anyhow, yeah, we talked about the squatters. I even went to Florida law, or the new law in Florida, which actually doesn't really address squatters, so to speak. But I do like what it does address. It addresses when people are doing fake documents, acting like they're the landlords, submitting fake documents to the county and state, creating new deeds, or trying to create liens, and now you got felony charges. I love all of that. I think that's great because there's a thing in Georgia and Mississippi, Alabama, and people are just filing fraudulent deeds, acting like the owner transferred title to them, and then don't even know nothing about it. People are getting loans on their home. It's crazy. There should be laws like that everywhere. It's crazy stuff. Crazy. My friend's property had homeless people in theirs. Oh, man. Wow. So, how long did what did they do? I'm just curious. What did they do after they found out the homeless people were there? Did they do call the police? They got them out easy. Okay. But they made an awful mess. That's what they do. Well, it's a good thing they weren't actually trying to be squatters then. That's good. Because otherwise, it could be a mess. But that in itself is a mess too. Normally, things are broken and, in disarray. Walls are smashed or, stuff happens. That's the thing. Did you see high insurance rates in Florida? Yes. Brian P., we've been talking about this for 7-8 months. This is nothing new. We predicted all of this was going to happen. Because, once they started saying, we're not going to accept certain people. So, in other words, if you start, for instance, in Florida, how many homes have roofs that are older than 15 years? Millions. So imagine 1 million people getting a notice saying, you have to get a new roof before we insure you. Okay, let's just say, I don't know what that number would be, but let's just say because it's cost prohibitive now. Instead of $15,000 or $20,000 for a roof, they want $80, $90, $100. So now people can't do it. So now let's just say you wiped out 200,000 people from the insurance company that used to be in the group insurance plan, because that's what everybody is. It's a group insurance. So now you have 800,000 people, and keep in mind, insurance costs go up. So now you have 800,000 people instead of 1 million people. You have 800,000 people paying for a certain number. So let's just say the year before, replacement costs or the cost for insurance if people started doing things, it went up. Let's just say it went up 20%. So now the 800,000 people have to cover that 20% additional, which means the 800,000 people insurance has to go up. So now we go, hey, you have to have flood insurance. Otherwise, you get no insurance. So now you take off another 50,000 people. Well, now you have 750,000 people who have to pay a certain number. Insurance has to go up. So now you're taking away people that would normally pay premiums who are high risk, but now you're leaving low risk people, but now you're covering a lot more property as well. And so now there's going to be a equilibrium problem, because now they're just going to go, hey, we have, $200 million worth of potential cost. We only have 500,000 people who's paying insurance. And they're going to have to cover, possibly, if a hurricane comes through here, $150 million. So what are we going to do? And that's where they're at. And quite frankly, that's going to be everywhere, because the insurance companies are cutting people no matter where you live. They're saying, hey, in the case of California, you are in a fire hazard zone, so you're not going to be covered anymore. All right? These are the type of things that are happening. Like in LA, where you live on the landslide and the cliffside, and your house is teeter-tottering, or people in your neighborhood homes are teeter-tottering. You have no insurance anymore. So that means less people are paying into the pot. So naturally, insurance has to go up. That's just the way it's going, ladies and gentlemen. So we have, in Georgia, the insurance companies for homes said the whole zip code, or not zip code, but the whole neighborhood, no coverage. That's crazy. We're talking about thousands of homes, no coverage. They say go see our B or C carriers. But the B and C carriers charge twice as much as the A-rated one, because now they're claiming you're higher risk. This is where this is going. Insurance is a joke. Remember, just think of insurance. It used to be mob. It is mob. Just think of the insurance as being at mob, right? I'll give you a perfect example. I'm the bad guy. I'm the mob. And I stroll through the downtown section that we control. I tap on the window. Hey, break it. I walk in, see the guy, owner. Hey, man, this is a bad neighborhood. You need some insurance around here. He says, what are you talking about? He says, man, your window just got broken out here. This could happen every day. How much is that insurance going to cost me? Says the owner. The mob guy says, just $100 a week. Then he goes to the next guy. Comes in, takes some food or whatever off the shelves, some items off the shelves, walks out, puts it in his car, walks back in. Hey, man, there's a lot of thieves around here. You're going to need some insurance. How much is it going to cost me, man? We're trying to keep the neighborhood cool. $100 a week. That's basically where we're going with this insurance, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is how it all starts. I'm just saying. All right? This is how it starts. Vanessa Comegate, that is insane. On top of that, they will sue you if you try to kick them out. That's right. So you have to beg to get your home back. So crazy. Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly. These laws have to change, or people will turn to street justice. See, that's the unfortunate thing. That's the unfortunate thing. That's where we're headed in America. Because here's the thing. I keep telling this everybody. You live in a third world country, but you don't know it yet, because it's always been where you had enough jobs, just enough jobs. You've always had just enough people that was not on the edge of being financially ruined. So you had people based on laws. What ends up happening, though, is when you start wiping out the middle class and you have more people that's homeless, more people that are on drugs, more people that can't get jobs. have nothing to lose. You have a teeter-totter. And so all of a sudden, one side starts outweighing the other, and then you have more people that won't give a damn and will care less about laws when you have no food, nowhere to live, nowhere to shower, nowhere to use the bathroom. All of a sudden, anything you do is better because even jail's better. So this is how you get to a third world country when you have consolidation of wealth is in the hands of a few. And then you have 70% of the population living paycheck to paycheck. We're not there yet at 70, but we damn sure over 60. That is not good. So when you have we'll call it 350 million, and you have 180 million people living paycheck to paycheck, and out of that 180 million or 350 million, the difference is 170. How many out of the 170 are homeless and not even on the rolls? That could be 10 million, that could be 20 million, that could be 30 million. So effectively, you could have 200 million plus people who are living paycheck to paycheck or have nothing. That leaves 150, which some are kids, so it doesn't really leave 150. That starts leaving like 100 million people that are earners, that actually have a little bit of money left over. And so now the balance has already begun. So when they wiped out the middle class this past time, this is where we are. So eventually, you're going to have 75%. I'm not saying next year, whatever, but in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to have 75% of the population paycheck to paycheck with another 10% that are going to be homeless. So you're going to have 85% of the people barely surviving and 15% of the people, and those 15% are going to be in trouble. So when we start talking about the squatters, this is what's going to continue to be a problem. All right. So the laws that they enacted in Florida with the paperwork and all that, I love it. That should be mandatory right now. So that's what's going down. Mo Better is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name. Another investor is here. I think I saw that in the movie. Hey, man, you're going to need some insurance for that broken window. Hey, that's how it works, man. That's exactly. I know I'm late. What's up, family? Mo, you know what's up, man. Lots of information and updates. People are giving out those dividend funds. And by the way, the new one, MSTY, is giving out a $4.12 dividend on the 8th of this month. It's a yield max ETF. It's $41. So basically it's 10% dividend is what they're giving out on Monday. Ex-dividend date is tomorrow. So we were talking about some of that. We were talking about the squatters' rights. All of it. Squatter situation is crazy all over, especially in New York. Yeah, it's standard. There's no way around it. And it goes with our real estate investing that we were talking about, because we talk about real estate investing here, and you have to protect yourself, because the bottom line is, if somebody comes to your house, you invite them to your house, you can be a real estate investor all you want. But again, you do what they did in San Antonio, because you saying we're going to do rehab. Okay, guy, we're going to let you stay at our house because you're doing rehab at our house. Well, you're giving consent for that person to be there. And if that person doesn't want to leave, you gave him consent. Now you have to go by the rules of 3-day notice. And then if he don't leave after that, whatever other thing your state does, depends, but most of the time that means you have to evict them. And if eviction takes 6 months, the person can live there for 6 months. If eviction takes 3 months, they can live there for 3 months. So you can get them out, but now you have to pay for the lawyers, the sheriff's offices, and all this court BS just to get them out. That's one of the things. You have other things. The homeless, like they said, can live there. I mean, squatters outright knowing that they can squat in a place. And there's all kind of things, but it's because of the landlord rules. And so in a place like New York, again, we were just talking about third world country, New York, and any highly populated places, New York, Miami, LA, these places are going to have squatter and homeless problems. And so any vacant buildings is going to have, or buildings that look like, nobody's going by paying attention, you're going to have somebody staying there. There's so many people now. And so that means half of them are going to be like the homeless and leave. The other half are going to be like, hey, man, I'm staying. And now you're going to have to go by whatever your state squatters' rights to get them out is. And most of the time it's 3-day notice and then eviction. But who cares? That's, like I said, 4, 5, 6 months. It could be a year. Especially like in New York. I'm pretty sure it's not like 4 or 5 months. I don't know. But again, I could see where that's crazy. Philly, crazy. New York, crazy. Right? We can see that. Vanessa, Victor, Brian P, CU, Takeover Mayday, Mo Better coming to the takeover. Yeah, we talked about that May 13th, 14th, and 15th. Some people who aren't watching, who's not paying attention, all right, who's not paying attention. Let's go see. Here's the 199. Here's the 199. There you go, 199. Mo, talking about my boy. All right, at Joe Nay, Mo Better, Takeover, E White, what's good, bro? Eric, looking forward to the May, bro. Okay, Mo Better. Well then, as you know, since you're here, everybody knows, April 8th, midnight, price goes up $249. And since you're here, Mo, you can get your favorite spot because, as you know, I'm not even going to address this thing that you put here in the chat room, Mo. Come on now. But we're gonna Los Corrales, El Cordecito is probably the best location to stay at. The prices are right. Everything's good in that neighborhood. There's grocery stores, there's pharmacy, there's restaurants, there's bars, all in that neighborhood. And it makes it easy because the car wash is across the street from La Bruja. That's where we're going to be hanging out for a minute. But, so Mo, since you're here, you can hear some of the information. It's going to be written on there and people will find out. So, 10 a.m. every morning, we're going to be leaving from there for the people that come. 10:05 a.m., we're riding. And like I said, Mo, we're going to your favorite spot. I think. We're going to one of your favorite spots, the lawyer's office. Glenny, Hachi, Cuevas and Associates on the 13th. We're going to see Johan also. And I talked about everybody who wants to open bank accounts. I suggest you'll get information what you're going to need and send it over to Johan's office so that way when you get there, you're going to be able to open up bank accounts under peso and dollars, get an ATM card, all good. So there you go. All right, Mo. So here we go. Got to get these squares out of here. Squatters out of here. There you go. All right, that's where you go. Get your tickets now. And if you want to come to the music festival, okay, come to the music festival. And if you get your tickets under the music festival, then it's only $1 more to join us on the Investors Forum. And yes, business, real estate, whatever you want to talk about, we're going to be doing. We're going to have a blast. You don't want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Eric, Egos, visit Larimar. I know you in the fence about it. Mo, I think I just told the wife, I said, I think we're going to DR on Monday. I didn't book the flights yet, but that's because I got the pass and all that. So I told her we're leaving Friday on Monday. Because I can't get nothing done in the States. These guys over there in the DR act just like I'm in Puerto Rico. Hey, man, I need to know about this. Okay, 2 days later, oh, yeah, I kind of talked to him. And what do you mean? 2 days ago, you said you're going to the spot, and I needed you to tell him this, so we got to nail it down. Oh, well, I just made a call. He wasn't there. What do you mean? So now I'm going over there. I said, you know what? This is the reason why I don't have partners on anything. I don't want partners. I said, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do the takeover for myself. I'll just go out there, get this handled. I got to get this sewed up. So that's why I got to go on the 3rd. Got to get it sewed up. All right. So that's where we're going. Yeah. And speaking of that, it's going to be very interesting when I go there because I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm not very happy with Larimar. The reason why I'm even more unhappier is because in January, they started moving dirt around. In February, they also showed these videos about adding more dirt. But in the last month, they haven't shown anything. Cruise on land, I've seen nothing as well. I'm like, you guys are looking suspect right now. What I need to see after 4 months, there better be some foundations down and some levels. There better be some cliff being moved 100 yards or something. Because if I go up there and all I see is dirt still and some trees being moved around and I don't see nothing at the cliff being done, and I damn sure know I ain't going to see no hotels being built, I'm going to have a little conversation. We're going to have a little conversation. La Bru, and my conversation, just so everybody knows, is going to be something like this. I'm going to be like, hey, man, whatever you're doing, I think you need to renegotiate. Everybody needs another contract. Everybody needs another contract because there's no way you're building 4 towers in 16 months. Ain't happening. I don't care if the towers were 3 floors. You ain't building it. So let's get real. Clearly, this is going to be longer than 2 years, right? This ain't going to be a year and a half. So again, if there's some builder that I don't know about that is building, 5 floors or 6 floors in 4 months, somebody better start explaining once again how you're going to be able to build 17 floors every 5 months, every 6 months. Nobody's done that. So if we go by one building every 6 months, which nobody does that, even then we have 4 buildings. That's 2 years. Come on. Come on. So I think we need everybody's contract renegotiated. So that's what I'm going to be pushing for before I get upset. And then they might say, just like everybody else, no, we ain't going to do that. And so then we got to see Glenny. Exactly. What's good, Mo, from E. White? E. White, send me a WhatsApp. I want to know what happened at Urbe Luxury. What actually happened? Because I know the total concession that we wanted, they didn't do. They did the refund part, but I'm not happy with that because all they're going to say is we're not going to refund you. You know what I'm saying? Sue us or whatever. What's good, Mo? I already have my villa reserved, just waiting on t-shirt. E. White. Wait, E. White. Hold on, which t-shirt? Oh, by the way, some people are watching that weren't here earlier. I'm sending out whoever has been a member of the channel for 1 year or more, you get a t-shirt. I need your sizes. I'm going to mail out everybody's tomorrow. So email me at support@stopstrugglingnow.com or hit me up in the WhatsApp group. Oh, speaking of WhatsApp, we have a new group just in case you want to commingle and mingle with everybody. Go, I keep forgetting about the WhatsApp, the SSN Nation lifestyle. Go to the group. Here it is. If you're on your phone watching this, then here it is. And you can talk. I'm in there occasionally, and everybody else, whoever wants to be in there, go there. All right. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. So whoever's coming to the investor forum, that's right. We have our dry fit. You guys get your dry fit gear. I forgot about that, but I didn't forget. I know everybody's getting gear, right? We have to have our dry fit. Match up. Some of us have dry fit from last year, so that's nice. Now somebody's gonna have some, and they're gonna be different colors. So now you guys are gonna know, and they're nice and comfy when we're in the DR. When we wear this cotton stuff, I sweat. So that's why I need dry fit when I'm in the DR. So whoever signs up, you get your dry fit t-shirt or dry fit polo shirt. So that'll be cool. So anyhow, Vanessa Comagate, Mo better see you there. Oh, Vanessa Comagate's coming over. Damn, E White, you quick with it. Mo better. Okay, there we go. E White, I'll hit you up on WhatsApp later. All right. More rooms on the beach. We're going pretty fast. Mo, rooms on the beach. We're going pretty fast. Exactly. Vanessa Comagate. I got to get that VIP. Hey. Yeah, just remember, if you get a Punta Cana Music Festival ticket, all right, at the bottom of the tickets order, you should pay $1, and that gets you able to come and be with us, and that puts you in the Punta Cana Investors Forum. You don't have to pay another $199, or on April 8th at midnight, $249. So if you do the VIP, that includes your room, which is pretty cool. Or the second VIP does not include the room, but that means you get to do the VIP. You sit up front. You get access to some of the entertainers and the meet and greet by yourselves, sit and chat, have dinner, world famous chef and all that jazz. It's going to be off the charts. All right, Eric, we gave Larimar enough time. We were going to go up in January and decided to give them till May to see what's going on. Now they better have something done. Yeah, Mo, here's the way I look at it. I thought about what I'm going to be doing, all right? Once I get my property funded. I think, again, there's opportunity that is clearly available. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend the money, and I think this is a good thing. I'm going to try and spend money. It might just have to be solar or something. I'm going to try to spend money so I can have a webcam. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to have a webcam at the site. So this stuff that we're doing with all these other properties, these guys are going to be like, oh no, he's changing the game. You're damn right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a webcam so people can actually see the lot itself. So then you can just go online and be like, okay, let me see what's happened over the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or let me see what's happening today. So everybody who invests, they're going to be sitting there like, okay, we see progress. We're not going to do this hidden stuff that all these other guys do, sending you videos and doing these quick cuts, and all you get to see is like 2 seconds of something, then they cut to something else, like guys driving in a truck, then they cut to some part of the section of where they're building, and you don't even know where it is, and they cut some. No, I'm thinking I'm changing the game. This is how you take over. So I'm going to actually try to do, on all properties that we own, I'm going to have a webcam so people can actually see, okay, it's sitting there for a month or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. You should be calling up going, what the hell's going on? Right? So now when people are sitting there looking and they're like, yeah, man, these guys are actually working today. Okay, they're working today. Okay, we see some progress. People don't have to send up customer service and go, hey, what's the progress? They're just going to say, hey, man, just go to the website. Look at the webcam. Or webcams. Because in some instances, it ain't like you can just see one lot, right? We have land, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't like we're building villas. We're building villas. We're building condos. But it's not like single. These are, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 square feet. Or shall I say 50,000, 20,000 square feet land parcels. And some even bigger than that I won't disclose. But all I'm saying is that's what I'm going to be doing. Now they better have. So, Mo. It's April. They haven't shown anything in over a month. Month and a half, I think, was the last moving dirt around nonsense. I think the reason why they're not showing anything is because I'd be willing to bet you, I could be wrong, but if you were building something, wouldn't you have video? on your Instagram, instead of showing me pictures every day, wouldn't you show me pictures of actual building being done to make people happy? That's what I'd be doing. And I'm just gonna be going, go to the website. See the webcams. What are you calling us for? It's right there. You can see what's happening. That's the way I'm rolling. The only time I hear from Larimar, it's a payment reminder. E. White, of course. All right. XXL t-shirt. All right, Mo. 2X. That's a little different. Yeah, I better. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do right now. Let me get me something. Because I know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. Let me do Mo. All right. Let me get his XXL. All right. So we know Mo's got an XXL. E. White, if he's coming, I don't know if E. White's coming yet. But anyhow, whoever's coming, I got to put that in there too. Thanks for the reminder. Okay. Here's the WhatsApp. Please, anybody can sign up. This isn't exclusive to just members with the icon. Everybody can come sign up in the WhatsApp group. If you're on your phone, that's easier because it's not really something you do on your desktop. So that's the SSN Nation and Lifestyle, okay? SSN Nation Lifestyle, WhatsApp. So that's where you're going. Okay. Gotta go, fam. Have a good evening. Well, I understand. Thank you so much for being here, Vanessa Comagate. The Seamless Genius was in the house. So once again, thank you. Very nice to see you. And everybody, I guess I better do some promo work for our Beachfront Java. Our own Professor Auntie Val used the promo code, all caps, SSN Lifestyle. And that gets you a discount after your first order. And she has coffee and tea, premium blend beans. If you have Keurig, you have no excuse. She has that. If you want to do whole beans and grind them yourself, no excuse. She has that. If you want fine ground for espresso, no excuse. She has that. You want premium blended beans? She's got that. So therefore, go show some love. Go show some love. Free shipping in the United States after your first order. Make sure you use the promo code on every order, SSN Lifestyle, so you get a discount. All right? It's that simple. That's how simple this is. Eric, just sent you my t-shirt size via email. Victor Marrero, he's coming out of retirement. He's coming to party with us as well. This is nice. This would be awesome. Okay. I'll write it down. But let me see. So, okay. Victor Marrero coming to join us. This is awesome. Okay. He said, that's a game changer, E. Thank you, man. Thank you. Throw a camera up. Exactly. Exactly. I'm about to come over and dog these guys. Like I said, there comes a time where every once in a while there's an opportunity. And to me, I know how real estate works. And so I feel there's an opportunity that hasn't been exploited yet. And it's for the better. The opportunity that these guys have exploited is we'll do pre-construction. We'll tell them 2 years, but we know we're not going to build it for 4 or 5. So we're going to get all their money on first phase and second phase, knowing full well we got 5 years. So that's what they've been doing. So who's the one that's going to show up that's going to say, you know what? We say we're going to build it in 14 months, it's built. If we say we're going to build it in 2 years, it's built. So therefore, that changes the whole game for everybody, because then it'll say, oh man, those guys, SSN Lifestyle, those guys build on time. Hell yeah, I'm buying their stuff. And we have to do what Noval does. It looks just like the renderings. That is key as well, right? So people are like, they build on time and it looks just like the renderings. And everything they said is here. And then some. So now all of a sudden, everybody else, they're caught off guard. They're just like, wait a minute. Why don't you want to buy from us? Because these guys, same price, but they build on time. You guys have a record of taking 4 years. Our stuff, our money, time is money. And trust me, I'm going to be putting all that in type of the promo stuff. Your time, your money is valuable. That's going to be in the promos because all these guys slacking, I call it slacking. Because the bottom line, what you guys don't understand is when it comes to real estate and you're developing, you actually have, when you buy real estate, it's you already made money if you price things accordingly, right? So I'm going to tell you guys what I did today because I told the guys about these guys want to make sure that it's the land, right, is backed. They want to make sure the land's backed. And that's the beauty of what I put together for these guys is what they put down is backed by the land. So even if I defaulted or didn't do what we were supposed to do, all they had to do is turn around and sell the land and they get back all their money and then some. In fact, the land itself after we buy it is, we're talking about 30 to 70% they could sell it for more. All of them are underpriced. All right? Because, well, I won't get into that. I won't get into the situation, but so that's the beauty of it. They realize, okay, I told you guys 7.7, right? The 7.7, they could actually just hold the land for a month, put it back up and be like 9.5 is what they could get. Or 10. It's that cool. So that's part of the equation. But anyhow, I want to tell you guys, I what I did was, so the guys were like, hey, Eric, what's going on? And I'm going to give you guys some crazy number. So now, keep in mind, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, you know I like luxury upscale. Why? Because the appreciation goes up faster than on low-end properties. So what I mean by that, it's simple. Let's just say you sell a condo or villa. It doesn't matter. You sell a condo or villa in a medium place, and I'll use it like Primavera because I call that like the Primavera 2. So, well, that's in a that's not high upscale. It's nice, right? So if you buy a let's say that C unit, which is very popular, and you could originally buy it for 103, but that was 3 years ago, 4 years ago. And then 2 years ago, you could have bought it for, what did it go up to? 115, right? And then 2 years ago, it was like 125. 1 year ago, it's 150. Right now, it's 170. All right? Now, that same property, same 1,500 square feet, it's in Vistacana, that a person paid 150, 160,000 for, because it's in Vistacana, it's 350 to 400,000. That's what I'm talking about. So the reason why I say that is because we're dealing with upscale in some locations. I got some upscale stuff. So the average price, okay, first of all, I got to tell you guys the reason why the average price is high is because we're talking about villas. And because it's going to be in high-end locations, the villas are going to be like $1 million. 775,000 in one location, 1.6 in another. These are 4,000 plus square foot joints and with ocean view. All right. So I'm going to give you guys some numbers though. There's 355 units total from our build out. The average price is $339,000. All right? So people who do math can figure out some crazy number. So the thing is though, 60 units are 149,000. 30 units, 169,000. 12 units, 199. 18 units, 219. All right, so that's over 100 units, right? The average price on those 100 units is around 180. You start doing, for instance, 100. This is why this is so disgusting. 100 times 180,000. Just so everybody knows, that's 18 mil. 100 units, 18 mil. That's if you sold out. Well, okay. That's on the low side because obviously you know what happens. You start out with prices. Then if the sales start going good, you're going to increase it 5 or 10,000 more. You know how it works. So it's 18 mil minimum just on the base phase price. That's still a winner. Anybody want, okay, Victor Marrero, anybody else? E. White, Mo, all you guys. Joe Nay, Brian Pete, you guys know when you build something, you pretty much know the profits, right? Or if you make money from rentals, you pretty much know your profits. So everybody knows 40, 50, 55% is going to be your expenses, right? So if somebody says, hey, we can do $10 million, that indicates 5 mil, 4.5 mil, somewhere in there should be profits, right? Same rules apply. Nothing changes. But the only way you can do this is if you have upscale locations. And so we have upscale locations. And so that's why I get to charge more. That's the reason why the average price is higher, because we have plans. There's big plans. So those are the differences, and the game changers are going to be coming because we're going to do all of it. We're going to make people feel comfortable, very comfortable. All right. They're using your money to pay the workers that are finishing my project. It's all good. Sorry, Victor Morel. They're not, that ain't what's going to happen. No, here's the funny part. So speaking of that, this is funny. No, we're buying land. That's it. That's it. That's why the investor dudes are looking at this like, is this freaking for real? And I'm like, it's for real. They're like, wait, are you serious right now? I'm like, are you serious? What do you mean? Go study. I gave you everything. They're just studied. They're like, oh my God, I want in. I got guys who are saying, I want in, but I don't have enough money. So how can I get in? I don't have the mill. I don't have the 6 mil or 5 mil or 4 mil, but I got a couple mil. I want in. I'm like, I know you want in, but that ain't happening. That ain't happening. You ain't getting no pieces of this. No, sorry. Now I'll give you interest only. Yeah, on whatever you want to put in. Yeah, maybe we'll piece something together for you so you'll get your interest only. Fine. But as far as partnership monies, participation, nah, that ain't working. That ain't working for me. Not for me. It's not working. I don't like partners. You guys might want to derail my plans. All right. But no, Victor, no, you're not going to have no luck like that, man. Your Connor Rock ain't going to be done. Sorry, it's not going to be done in 2024. And I don't know if it'll be done in 2025 either. But I do know this. If these guys sign a contract, I know I'm going to have stuff up before your Connor Rock's done. I'm not building anything like 5 stories high and doing all that. I'm just referring to, we're going to have villas and some condos and things like that already done. Beach clubs. You guys, I got to tell you about some stuff that's going to be off the charts. But no, unfortunately, no, our guys are going to be getting paid. So I told you guys before, we have to treat this as a situation where we don't have enough workers. So that means we have to import. And so the cost is already accounted for importation. of workers. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's going down. So people are going to be sitting there like, wait, these guys are getting this done, and this is crazy. That's right, because we know what we're doing. All right. Yeah, Victor, you wish, man. No, we ain't sending no workers your way. In fact, we might be siphoning off some. I'm just joking. We're not siphoning off workers, but it's kind of funny. So we'll see how this all works out, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, well, I'll give you the latest because today the news is we're sending over a contract. They're going to be putting down a little bit of some deposit money, let's call it. But that's to sign the contract, and then after that, we're talking about. I'll just give you guys some numbers. I've been almost transparent as I can be without telling you where the property is, but we're talking about 1.53. That's what we need to lock in 6 parcels. 6. So the takeover means we're locking in parcels 6. Out of the 6, 4 of them will be in SSN Lifestyle name in 4 months. So unlike these other clowns who says we own the land and then you find out it's a promissory note, which still works, or you find out they have an agreement where they can pay the people monthly and they allow them to build, yeah, okay, that's fine. But when the lawyers check, they're going to be like, these guys own the land. Another game changer. So there ain't going to be none of that. But 2 of the parcels we won't, but we don't care, or shall I say I don't, because those parcels that we can't transfer into our name, they're going to be second phase. So I don't really care. The second phase, and they're not going to be transferred for a year, year and a half maybe. So a year, year and a half is what it takes for us to build. So we're not doing what the other guys do and say that's going to be first phase and then find out the thing's not going to be done for another 2 years. So we're just going to say second phase, and then second phase is going to be built at this time. So it'll coincide with the transfer of title. So that way we're not going to be like everybody else. But you can start paying now, and you know it might take 36 months. So your payment's going to be lower, but we're just going to be straight up. It's going to take 36 months. We're not, or 40. We're not going to sit here and go 24 months and then be like, oh yeah, well, it's going to take 48 months to finish. I'm not playing that game. So there you go. Workers from the United States would love to come down to the DR and work. Exactly. Make money and be on a beautiful island, taking in the weather at the same time. There you go, Mo. Exactly. 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 That was a shot at Larimar. Exactly. Payment plan. Exactly. And quite frankly, it was a shot at several developers. You guys have no idea. There's a lot of developers that are doing this freaking payment plan stuff. Look, there's some parcels of land that cost a lot of money. We're talking $2-3 million. So, like, for instance, around where Vistacana is now, again, I told you guys I was trying to do the storage, and the guys were selling that stuff for $150,000, $200,000. Now, all of a sudden, they want $1 million per acre. I'm just like, what the? So, these developers don't have $1 million. They don't have $2 million. They don't have $3 million. So, where do they start? That's what we're dealing with here. And so that's why you have a huge advantage if you can get some real money and you can buy the stuff outright. And it gives you 2 advantages really. And one I can't implement. Because what's going to end up happening is the land is going to be secured by my creditors. That's part of the assets for them in case something happens. So that's only fair, right? But the implementation of another part of this is, unlike my counterparts who are making monthly payments, they can't go to the bank and get a loan. We own the land free and clear. So if something really went crazy, all I would do is call up. In fact, here, let me explain something. Okay, I'll give you guys 7.7, right? So let's just say, for the sake of argument, something went crazy that was unexpected. We can't pay the guys back their 7.7. But you guys remember, the land is worth more than 7.7. So now I could go to the bank and be like, hey, I need money. And they're just going to go, okay, let me see how much this is. And they're going to go, well, it's worth 10 point whatever. Yeah, we might give you 5. But even that is better, because then I can just give them guys their money back. And then, of course, we're going to be doing our pre-construction anyhow, so we should have money in-house anyhow. But let's just say worst came to worst, we had no money, which would be almost impossible. But we would get the money to pay them. And then I'd have a loan, though, which I wouldn't really want. But the point of the matter is, we have a way to make sure that we complete this whole thing. So now you put yourself back into the situation where you go, okay, I got a loan, I got to pay these dudes back their money. Fine. But then I could sit there and I have a plan, I have the payment plan, and this is what we're building, so I can get construction loans. Either way, even though I don't need them. But I'm just saying, we're putting ourselves in a position where our stuff's going to get completed regardless. Nobody can stop us. Sorry. All they can do is bitch to the government and try to get Eric Bird shut down like everybody has done in the past, because damn, he's whipping our ass. That's all that's going to happen. That's all that's going to happen. Lots of love. They caught us straight from Eric. Exactly. But I'll be excited if the guy signs the contract tomorrow or Friday. I'm hoping tomorrow, because I'm going to try to be in the DR on Monday. That would coincide perfectly, because then the funds would be wired to DR, to our accounts there, and we're off to the races. Off to the races. All right, everybody. Let's smash the like button who hasn't already. And if you tried to get in the chat room and couldn't, that's because on Wednesday night, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch. But on Friday night at 9:10 p.m., please come back and join us. And you don't want to miss what we're going to be throwing down in May. Just letting you know. So with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. SSN Nation Takeover 2024 may be complete. Once again, I wish I could tell you where this stuff was, but I just can't. Because I know somebody might be watching going, oh no, we can't have that. We got to block him. I just don't want any problems, because we're going to be under negotiation for a second. We have what we call the retail price. And then we have what we're going to be paying. It's going to be less than the retail price, but we got to negotiate a little deeper, because we're buying multiple parcels from the same person. So right now, selling them individually is one thing, but when we come, we're coming for all of it. That's right. That's the key, ladies and gentlemen. So that's how I'm able to get a lower price, because we're going to pay lower per square meter, just like normal business. All right? We're getting as much as you're going to give me at a lower price, so we're going to save ourselves, I estimate, somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million. That's what I'm estimating. So it's going to be awesome. So yeah, they caught us stray, and they done effed up, and they're going to find out. Because like I said, we're going to implement certain things. We're going to have some workers from the U.S. We're going to have webcams. We're going to have everything on lock where people can say, hey, he said this is going to be done in 14 months. Look at this, man. The foundation, everything's built. It's only 6 months in. Damn, this stuff is going down. People going to get excited. Then we got other projects that you might see and you'll be like, wait, what's this? Does that look like a pool? Does that look like a beach club on the beach? What the hell going? These dudes are really going to have a beach club in like a year. We're going to get to go there because it has an owner's lounge. You're damn right. You're damn right. And we'll be leasing out the space, making passive income to boot. So anyhow, I'm implementing the plans. Beach clubs. In fact, 3. There will be 3 beach clubs in 12 months. And we will be renting out some of the slots. So we shall be doing $20,000 to $25,000 per month in passive income. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just saying they messed around and they might have let the goat in the house. We'll see. We've had a few times where people said, "Hey, we're gonna do it. We love it," and then they MIA. We'll see what happens this time in the next 24 hours, 48 hours. So hopefully we get some signatures, and on Friday, I'm hoping one of these days I'm gonna give you guys some hella news. I'm hoping. So all this thing I've been talking about, the SSN Nation takeover, it was January, February, March. Here it is, April. Sometimes the best things do take months to do. But we do have some other people. And actually, we have another. I can't even get into it right now. I'm just going to tell you guys this. Guys called up and they said some unfathomable stuff like, hey, man, we're going to try and do something in Miami. We need $30 million. So the response was, that's good. I need a few mil. So how much you going to charge us to get the 30 mil? I said, I need a few mil. And I need to see the project. That's what we need. So what's funny is because of this, some other dudes are like, I need 30 mil for Miami. I haven't seen the project yet, but I'm anxiously waiting to see what they're going to be building for $30 million in Miami. I don't even know what it could be. So the question is, what's the fee for 30 mil? And I was like, I need 3, maybe 3. I said, nah, that's maybe too greedy. 1.5, maybe that's better. 5%. Then I'm like, they can't get it from nobody else. 3 mil. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, hey, coming out of retirement, guys, this is what we do. So we'll see if I can wrap up the first part of the equation, and then we'll see if we can wrap up their little help. I think we can, because what ended up happening is because the guys didn't come through like they were supposed to in February and March, that led to having to go out to other people, and other people are now wanting to get in to our deal. And unfortunately, if this guy signs, then that means there's only a limited space for somebody else to do something. And all these other people, we're going to be like, because we're talking about 7.7. These guys already know it's 7.7. And actually, that's for 2024. And it's another 1.9 in 2025. So it's actually 9 mil. 9.6, I think. So they know. So all these guys are looking at our stuff going, okay, 9.6 total. So we have people that together they could do 30 mil too if their project is legit, if it's good. Like I said, I want to see what it is. So this is where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be back into this real estate game in a big way. And that means stay tuned, because that also means I'm going to be able to actually help more people. So like we had a situation with the member here that they could have used a small amount, like 150,000. But unfortunately, most guys, they don't really care about giving somebody 150,000 at 12%. yeah, you might say, okay, that's 12 or 13,000, but to them, they're like, why even bother? They would rather give somebody 1.5 or 2 million at 12%, so they know they get 200 and some $1,000 annually, right? So that's where we're at. So now, if I'm back in the game and somebody actually needed the little amount, 100, 150, whatever, 200, then I'll just do it myself. So this changes the whole game. SSN Nation, we'll see. Count your blessings, because I help people. This is why I'm on the government's list. They're like, wait, he helps ordinary citizens who normally wouldn't be able to do stuff. And he's not actually trying to get stuff from them. They're like, wait, and he's telling them how to do it. This is what generally happens, ladies and gentlemen. When I come out of retirement, it's takeover. My wife has never even seen this because she doesn't know what happened before we got married. Right? She doesn't even know. She has no clue. She's just been running around her whole life going, who are you? How come people know you? What's going on? That's all she ever said. How are you able to why do we get to do all this stuff? And then I'm like, well, it's because I have a future. I have a past that you don't know nothing about. And so you guys hopefully will find out. She's going to find out, and you guys can come along for the ride. Because the Investors Forum, that went a little differently than I wanted it to before, but it doesn't matter. I like how we did it before, where you get to go around, camaraderie, talk, and do stuff. But there's going to come a time where I'm actually going to be speaking in front of a room, and we're going to have more than just a few people. It's going to be a bigger room, and I'll get into that another day, because then I'll have all my weapons. So I'll have the money, the investors, the properties, and I'll be able to get other property deals to help other people. So people are used to having these investor forums where people go and pay people like $2,000, $5,000 or whatever, and then they go get them in a bus, take them around and show them properties, and meanwhile they didn't know that the person bought the property already, and then you're giving an extra $20,000 or $30,000, and they're thinking they're getting a deal. I don't do that. All right. What I do is I actually make sure you're getting a deal, because I'm not interested in buying it. I'm just saying, hey guys, this is what you can get. This is what you can do. This is options. Go talk to these people. I'm not involved. And if you need a little funding, come see me. Helping ordinary citizens is what we do. So that's why they don't want me to be who I am. And once again, DR, they can't stop me. It's over. It's a freight train running. All right, I'm talking enough mess. Let's see if we can get that contract signed tomorrow, because that unlocks everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with all that said, make sure you stay safe out here, because you are not guaranteed tomorrow. So make sure you have a lot of fun in your life. And make sure you stand with like-minded people. Integrity is pretty good. People that are fun. And then come join us in the DR. And with all that said, keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.